It is. You have 4 and played a bit of it, and subsequently learned that scheduling mechanics are hell for your brain hates missing out and stuff. Ugh. It is something you have to get used to with Persona. You're going to miss out. You can't do everything.
Yeah, you'll talk about Persona.
Yeah, Dark Days is 4 and played a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there is guides to do most 100% most things, but you're always going to miss stuff. And the games I can tell are meant to be like a replayed kind of thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How I'm playing 3, I've already realized I've been very inefficient with my time because whenever somebody wants to hang out, like they messages me to hang out, I'm just like, yes, I want to see the scene. Because they're all also fully voice acted now, every little hangout.
Yeah, so that's cool.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to maximize everything this run, but I'm going to see what I want to see. Like,
yeah,
there's a film festival. I took advantage every day of seeing the film festival, even though the main advantage is upping your stats, which mine were already maxed out.
Yeah,
but I was
that's
like,
actually the meta in a 100% original playthrough. Like, if you're trying to 100% it, the meta is to go to every single movie anyway. So,
well, by then I already had my stats maxed out, so the movies didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
So but I got to see all those scenes that if I was following a guide to go perfect, I never would have seen these scenes.
Yeah.
And next, I'll do a New Game Plus, and I will maybe follow a guide, though it'll be less tight because the New Game Plus stuff.
Oh yeah, that's the best way to do it. Like I do what you just said. I played through it blind my first time around, max out my stats, and then New Game Plus you keep your stats, and then I follow a guide, and it's just fantastic. Everybody's like, the guides are like, you're gonna have to struggle here and reset your saves unless you get this perfectly. I'm like, no, I don't. I got max stats. I don't need to worry about saves coming stat gain. It's fine.
Yeah, so
it's such a liberating feeling.
Yeah, but yeah, Dark Data. In terms of when you do have to learn to just to accept you can't do everything possible in a day. And that's just kind of real life. It's kind of just you got to make your choices. Only so many hours. Yeah. It's taken to the extreme because unless you're like me, you can do more than 2 things a day.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty iconic. I relate to that. It's like, yeah, that's my one task. I can't do anything else unless I get a very strong massage, that can inspire me to continue.
Only 2 spoons, basically.
Yeah, you only have 2 spoons.
1 for each hand. I'm an Alakazam. Like 1,000 IQ 2 spoons.
But
not a.
To go mega.
I'm never gonna get mega. Sorry.
You don't have the potential bond with your trainer.
Oh, I would have to drop my twisted spoon, and I need it.
I wanted to speak real quick on in regards to completing everything on your first playthrough, because it's relevant to the game I just finished, Soul Hackers 2.
Yeah.
It's also an Atlas jam. It doesn't have a day schedule, but you can't complete everything on your first playthrough either. So it's one of those things where you can theoretically min-max like one character's affinity in one playthrough, but like you're better off just seeing what you want to see, and then second playthrough, they give you enough resources to max everything.
Yeah.
Right, and then if you don't second playthrough, you actually can. They call them seasons. I just realized because I 100%ed it on season 2, but I started a new game and it's season 3. So and they keep exponentially increasing how much affinity you get for each character. So eventually, even if you are poorly optimizing your runs, you will be able to see everything. And I think that's kind of the Atlas motto. They just want you to go back to the games.
Yeah, that's fair. There's one more thing I do want to say on that Dark Data, because that's actually a thing that stressed me out initially with Persona. Was I am the type to play a game and want to 100% it on my first go. And I think how I handled the series actually helped ease me into it to play it like this. Having my first Persona game, following a guide, because it took a little less stress out of, like, yeah, I was going to miss stuff, but I knew I was going to see the bulk of stuff. And it kind of eased me into accepting I'm going to miss stuff, so that my second Persona game I played, I could do it without a guide and be like, yeah, I already know I'm going to miss stuff.
Yeah. Well, because even when you're 100%ing all the social links or confidants, you're still not experiencing everything.
Yeah.
Like you said, right? Like, if you're following a guide, you wouldn't have been able to see the movies, theoretically, right? So then you're still missing out on content. So you're right. Like, following a guide kind of, especially for your first time, teaches you that you don't have to follow a guide, ironically enough, right?
So I would recommend that, Dark Data, if it's stressed you out, to try playing one of them with a guide first.
Yeah.
Because
4 is actually there's plenty of really good spoiler-free guides for 4. 4 is my favorite, and I know not sponsored. Can you sponsor Game Facts? But I know Penguin Knight specifically made a really good Persona 4 spoiler-free walkthrough that I use all the time, still to this day, from when it originally, came out on the PS2. Like, it's just good, you don't have to recreate perfection.
Yeah. And there's literally been points already in my playthrough of this where I'll get on a text hangout on a day, like 2 people text me to hang out with them. You can't do both. It's impossible. So, like, it's just, yeah, I'm getting to do a bunch of stuff with a character, actually. I don't want to get into spoilers. With a playable character that I really love. They're for those that have played, this character is probably the best boy in the game.
Oh, I know who you're referring to.
And some of the stuff have absolutely no advantage for me to do it, and it's just for the moments. Like,
yeah, you're living the Japanese high school fantasy,
Yeah. So, the spoon hooks onto your belt. Think you were doing that at the time? Okay, that's fair. Yeah, they're also long, I get, and some people might struggle to stick with it for a while.
Yeah. And just the last thing I want to add, because I know that obviously we're derailed, but it's interesting. I might actually write a review for the first time ever for the Discord review channel.
I need to get back into this.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, you inspired me by you doing them, and like I feel like I really want to do one for Soul Hackers 2, because it's not a perfect game, but it scratched the itch that I've had for the longest time, that I was telling you about, having a Persona game with adult like NPCs, like party members.
I mean, if that's what you want, I have possible good news about the rumors for Persona 6. Right?
Oh, is there rumors for Persona 6 already? I haven't even kept up.
Yeah, I was looking up. There was one that came out from November, a supposed leak from somebody on the team. It could be completely false, but
yeah.
But I kind of read through.
Party members?
What?
Is it that it's adult party members?
It's a year and a half, and it starts final year of high school, and it goes into college and adulthood.
Oh, that's fun. That's different.
So, but we'll see if that's even true. Like,
I go to cram school and take the really terrible Japanese placement exams that they have.
I mean, probably like they're definitely meant. The games are definitely meant to be kind of reflective of everyday struggles. Is part of the plot, not plot, but like experience. So. But yeah, let's get into the game, because we could honestly spend like the entire 3 hours talking about Persona, and barely scratch the surface, even if we're talking fairly spoiler free. So we had showed her a thing, I believe, last time, which we knew we had to show her. So now we have to talk to her. Oh, before you read it, I did. Because Dark Data mentioned Emma's name not fitting forensic science, and that's why maybe she didn't get a forensic scientist job. I did look up briefly her name. You weren't there for that. So just so you know, according to the wiki, Emma doesn't mean anything. Emma is just a name. Like, there's no meaning behind it. But Sky might be pretty much a direct translation of her Japanese first name, which is Akane, which might be part of the phrase Akane Sasusora, meaning a glowing sky.
Yeah.
So just a little name fact for Emma Sky, because there's not much to say otherwise about her name.
That's fun. But but that's funny, yeah. Like that, her name isn't indicatory.
Outside of maybe a pilot, I don't know what else she could have done with her life to fit her name.
Yeah, literally, it's like a meteorologist maybe.
Yeah, that I guess would work.
Yeah.
We gave the white thing we gave her. Gave her the white powder left. The cocaine. It's how she deals with not being in her career of choice. White powder. Okay, it's your line, so.
Yep. The report came in last night. The body was found much as you see it now. Except it was a real body.
But why?
Why was a body pulling a noodle stand? If I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't still be here.
Well, what was the cause of death?
A bullet wound to the temple. He was shot by a pistol. A pistol? Not the easiest thing to come by in this day and age.
Unless you're a cop. Or a gangster. It's kind of the same thing.
Whoa! Incidentally, the victim's name was Paul Maractus. I just received the autopsy report, in fact.
Wait, I know that name.
Do you? Do I? Do we?
Yeah, the Maractus Clinic, the one next to the noodle guy shop.
Oh, yeah.
The very rich doctor. That's...
Yeah, I forgot all about that. I mean, really? What's up with this case? It's enough to make me want to run off, pulling a mysterious noodle stand behind me. Not so mysterious, actually.
That'd be really impressive if you could run with the noodle stand.
We should tell her, Apollo. After all, we know where the stand came from. A likely story. I didn't come here to play games, you know.
Actually, we do know where the noodle stand came from. The noodle stand's owner is Phoenix Wright.
Do it.
Do it?
Yeah, why not? We're not gonna fail.
What do I... Oh, that button.
Look, I have better things to be doing. I'd make more progress eating snacks than listening to this drivel.
You could try actually investigating rather than just standing around.
I got real scared for a second. I thought we did fail it.
Just got a non-standard game over.
Yeah, right. The game is just Emma just leaves. You just see her sprite just like going down the street in the background right there.
Last thing you hear is her mumbling, "The miracle never happened." Okay, the shop's owner is...
Aldun.
I mean, if they don't have specialized dialogue for Phoenix Wright, I don't think they'll have it for anybody.
Yeah, they're not going to have it for anybody else. Yeah, that's what I figured. Who's the old guy?
That's right, Guy. This is the proprietor of Eldun's Noodles, Mr. Eldun himself.
He's famous in this part of town.
I'm surprised that you didn't deduce that Eldun's stand belonged to Eldun.
I just thought that somebody accidentally put those in the wrong order. That's my favorite kind of typo. Like when you see posters where it's like you slot in the words, but they clearly slotted them in the wrong order. Like that's like peak comedy to me.
The one then where the meme where you have the two people both pronouncing it like one top to bottom and one like left to right, and both are wrong.
Yeah, or the Fresh avocado. When do you remember that for a while? Like from the meme of Del Taco having it's like fresh avocado, but they like spaced it in a way that read Fresh avocado. Like if you like read it properly with proper punctuation and spacing, and it was so funny.
Yeah, those ones are good.
Not bad. I guess Mr. Right picked the right kids for the job. That saved me a lot of work. Thanks.
I was gonna ask Dark Data if you can have a sodium overdose. I guess. I mean, long term, obviously.
No, yeah, you can overdose anything.
Yeah, that's what I said. I guess at some point, but that's got to be a lot of salt for you to die from too much salt in like one sitting.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have to keep putting salt in your body when your body's refusing it, and just continue to do it.
Yeah, it's a lethal dose of sodium of table salt is roughly 0.5 to 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. So
not very good with metric, but I think that's
fine.
a lot.
If you weigh 220 pounds, right, that's 100 kilograms. So
Okay.
You would need 100 grams of salt, which is...
It's got to be what, like over a pound, right?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Are we using
cups?
What?
3/4 cups.
That's a lot less than I thought it'd be. Like
yeah, so a 220 pound individual consuming 3/4 of a cup of sodium.
So like if you just sat there and ate a bowl of salt, you die?
Yeah. It's rare. You could probably go to the hospital and get fixed, like pump your stomach out or whatever, but like it is a lethal amount of sodium if you consume that much in one sitting, according to the internet. And would the internet lie?
Would the internet lie?
Would somebody just go on the internet and lie?
No, Dark Data. I mean, overdose is right, but I guess you meant like long term, like high sodium problems, health problems.
Yeah.
Which that definitely is possible, not from one sitting, but like continued.
What sort of person was the victim anyway? I mean, what did he do? He was a doctor.
We knew that.
Yeah, we did know that.
A doctor? I'm starting to see a connection here.
I would hope so.
Listen, you didn't notice at first.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's also been a week, but...
Yeah, for them, it's been like 0.3 nanoseconds.
No, it's probably been like, with travel time, what, an hour? I don't know what order they did stuff.
From the moment we gave them the powder. Oh, you mean from the moment that we went into Maractus Clinic? That
we last heard the name Maractus.
Oh, yeah. I would say, yeah. Accounting for travel time, it's probably been maybe like an hour and a half. At most. No, it couldn't be. Because it's all in one corner, remember?
Yeah, but we had to go, since we last went to the Maractus, canonically, we had to go back to
the hospital.
Yeah. To see.
For the hospital, we had to go back. Well, we ended up going to jail. And then we went.
Well, I'm saying if in universe, because I'm sure they did in canon, the characters don't just bounce back and forth between irrelevant places repeatedly.
Who, me? I'm just a supervisor for this crime scene.
Detective Sky.
I was out of the country for a while. Came back to be a forensic scientist.
Her smug looks kind of cute.
Oh, were you studying abroad? Something like that. I was studying in Europe. Forensic sciences, mind you. When I got back here, they threw me in criminal affairs. Just like that. Why did you just become a forensic expert in Europe? Well, I suppose that was an option, but I had a lot of favors to repay to people back here.
Favors? Wasn't she in high school when she left?
Were you in high school when she left? Rude.
Was I? How old is she now?
Oh, I think she's probably like 20, 21, 22.
25? Oh, she's like around our age. Then yeah.
Yeah, like they were both in high school. What?
Wait, Emma Sky? Did I sit behind you in English class?
Yeah, Apollo, yeah. Apollo actually had every single class with her and just did not conceptualize who she was. I was involved in an incident before I left.
Oh,
Mr.
Maractus.
Red and his people helped me out.
You can finish your line.
Oh, Maractus deserved to be a better Pokemon. I feel like Maractus is going to get an evolution at some point.
I mean, everything will at some point.
Like, if they do a region based on, like, South America or Mexico.
Or just if they do a Legend style game for Unova.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be so... Ugh, we don't have to talk about it, because we could spend an entire stream just talking about that. Like, the possibilities. So good.
Yeah, I worried they'd reveal the original dragon, and I like that left up to mystery, but...
Yeah, I mean, it could just be right after that event, you know?
It could, but fans will clamor for the lore.
Yeah.
Most fans don't want it mystery, they just want to see what it looks like.
Yeah, and then complain that it doesn't look like how they wanted it to.
Yeah.
But Mr. Randis, people helped me out. I owe them. Really? I had no idea.
If she's been out of the country for a while, she probably doesn't know about Mr. Wright's current state of affairs.
I thought he hasn't been practicing law in 7 years.
Something like that.
The timeline doesn't add up. Because has it been 7 years since the original trilogy? Is that the subtext?
Ace Attorney game years, maybe. No, that's all the ages of all the characters and what?
No,
well, here's timeline. I'm just worried timeline's going to show all the cases because they. Okay, Phoenix Wright's original games 2016 to 2019. And
takes place in 2025.
yeah, this is 2025, so it's been 6 years since the third game.
Yeah, so he hasn't. If he hasn't been practicing law for 7 years, the timeline doesn't make sense.
This is 7 years?
I thought they did.
Just now, or?
That number. No, originally in the tutorial case.
Then maybe it's like, okay. Oh, so he lost his prosecutor badge sometime in either 2019 or 2020.
Yeah.
So that means it's been like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. So maybe it was 6 years, and I'm just misremembering.
Yeah, 6 years sounds like it's about right. So, and it would have been 8 years since 7 years since she last appeared. Because she would have been at the end of the first game. Okay. Could you tell us a bit about the defendant? He's the only son of the Kitaki family, yes?
Walkie-talkie.
Yeah, you gotta say it without laughing.
Walkie-talkie. I don't know if he's the boss's son, but he's certainly throwing his weight around.
Does the Yakuza here just hate their son?
I mean, if
It's
a
like-
Dragon is any indicator, it's pretty
Like,
on brand.
I mean, just with the last name being what it is, that is like the worst first name, the least intimidating first name these Yakuza members could have given their son.
Yeah, they could have said anything. Like Goro is like a pretty masculine name.
Well, and I can't think of a single name they could have done that would have been as dumb as Wakikataki.
Yeah, Wakikataki is pretty bad. But I don't even know what the pun is, but it really just reminds me of Helga Pataki.
It's walkie-talkie.
Oh, literally it's just a walkie-talkie?
Just walkie-talkie.
Oh, okay. I thought it was supposed to... I don't know what it was, but again, every time I say it, it reminds me of Helga Pataki. That's why I laugh.
I mean, the last name we established actually has meaning with, like, Kitsune.
Yeah.
But, yeah, God, scrolling. Yeah, it's a play on walkie-talkie. Maybe a reference to the phrase walk the walk, talk the talk.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Also, his last name also means... Kataki also literally means North Tree. But the theming is Kitsune. They use... Okay.
Violently. Can you go back to the other line? Because I don't know the context of violently.
No.
I don't know if he's the boss's son, but he's certainly throwing his weight around violently in the detention center.
Yeah, she was in Edgeworth's game in Badger Park. That was like a year. Yeah, it was a year or two. She was on vacation from Europe, so.
I see.
Why was he arrested in the first place?
You're the defense attorney, aren't you? You're not his by any chance.
Actually, yes, I am.
Well, we have a witness to the moment of the crime.
Hey?
The witness called the police. They'll be testifying during the trial tomorrow. What?
Could you tell us a bit more about the victim?
Well, let's see. Apparently he's the physician at a clinic in the area. Quite well off, too, from the sound of it. The clinic's name is the Maractus Clinic. Maybe that's why the cop car was parked there? What? You've been to the clinic?
Yeah, though on a related issue. I told the detective about the case of the stolen noodle stand.
I see. So that means... Dr. Maractus stole the stand and pulled it all the way here?
That would seem to be the case.
But why?
I don't know, you're the detective. Don't ask me.
Listen, turnabout's fair play. Turnabout's fair play.
I think that's... I mean, that's everything she had to say, unless we have to show her something else.
I mean, we already showed her.
I miss Great Ace Attorneys having Susato say whether we missed anything in a place.
Such a good quality of life.
I don't remember if the other 3DS ones might have them. This one obviously doesn't. Hickfield Clinic? No. Why can we only go to Hickfield Clinic from the agency? Let's check the detention center. No. Are we just not? We might not be done with Truth. Not Trucy. Emma.
I mean, we haven't done anything with the white powder that we gave her. Was that relevant?
I don't think we can
She gonna
do.
teach us how to do it.
I don't want to click it.
Fingerprint analysis is the very basis of modern forensic science. Doesn't just talking about it leave you breathless with excitement?
Oh yes, breathless. Actually, it does sound kind of interesting.
Let me know if you find any evidence that might have a print or two, alright?
Oh, okay.
The Knief? Oh, we have, like, there's a Knief on the ground. We haven't even checked that.
Oh, because it didn't let us look at anything, because...
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a Knief!
What are you holding on to? Well, what do you got there? A knife! No! Have you seen that?
No. I'm just a normal man, so...
Do not start with me. You're so rude.
What did I say wrong? I'm just an innocent man.
I'm over it. Stream canceled. I'm gonna put a doily over the camera.
Listen, it makes you laugh now, so...
It's cursed. It makes me laugh from fear. It's like one of those like fear responses when you just laugh because you don't know what else to do. Remember from hit game 999?
I guess.
Because I'm species B.
Oh, then you aren't afraid. You just laugh. You think it's funny.
No, that's what he said. He's like, I'm like so scared that you can't do anything but laugh.
I thought species B doesn't even get scared. They just laugh in the face of danger.
I don't remember anymore. We're gonna have to replay it. A shiv to be precise. Ooh, lingo.
Duo.
No, we can't talk about them.
I mean, what if we get sponsored?
Yeah, I mean, then we could talk about them. You listen here, you little owl. If you want us to talk about you, you better pay up. The defendant, Wakikataki, is the son of known gangsters. The police are assuming this belongs to him.
Wait, but wasn't the murder weapon a pistol? Huh? Look at this. There's handprints on the shiv.
A handprint? Then there might be a fingerprint. Let's investigate.
Oh, I didn't even do that. Okay.
Oh, there might be fingerprints? Are you kidding me?
There might be.
Like, there's already fingerprints on it. Just because they're not, like, on the white powder doesn't mean that they're not there.
How do you know they're fingerprints and not, like, toe prints?
I think you can identify people based on their toe prints, too.
Yeah, but this is a fingerprinting set, not a toe printing set.
They're exclusive. You need a different kind of powder.
I mean, there's probably a powder that, like, works for both, but, like... That'd be like a digit printing set.
Yeah. A phalange.
It's the 2-in-1 fingerprinting and toe printing set. It's only for guys, like, because they shampoo, conditioner, yeah.
Yeah. Women would need to have like special kinds because there's special minerals and oils and pink tax reasons.
Yeah.
Men, you gotta put it all in one. It can take a print out of everything. It's like stomach print. Yeah, you can make a print out of it. We don't care.
God, that just reminds me of have you ever gotten the YouTube ad for the it's like some company that just they make a pillow out of anything.
Oh yeah. Your babushka, she's a pillow now. I miss you. We're in America because I love America. It's great. It's great.
Putting the toes on screen for free in this family-friendly game. This is M-rated.
Is it M-rated?
It's gotta be. The 3DS games are both M-rated. So.
Dang. Right. Choose a fingerprint you want to examine.
The Apollo Justice was T-rated, but the collection's gotta be M-rated because the other two were.
Yeah. For the panties.
Choose a fingerprint.
Look closely at the handle.
Choose your fingerprint. It's a fighting game. Thumb!
Pinky! I don't know the other fingers' names. Index. That's it.
The bird!
Ring in middle. Yeah, the bird. But when you do the bird, it's the Peter Griffin. That's its taunt.
I can't wait to unlock the secret sixth finger.
No! Yeah, it's very rare. Only like a certain percentage of the the cartridge will have it. Yeah, no, it's a cartridge. It's for the original SNES. See, there's more than one fingerprint there. Those black spots? That's right. Pick the one you want to analyze.
Do we really need the powder?
Yeah, that's. I just said that. Right, let's get detecting.
Wow, she's practically glowing with excitement.
First, sprinkle some aluminum powder over the print. With the press of an A, like this, see? The oil left by the print absorbs the aluminum powder, so just dust it on. Thumb, index, bird, ring, and pinky. Yeah, those are the fingers, Dark Data. What are you talking about?
But then they have the alts for the other hand. Those are Echo fighters.
Echo fighters? Left thumb! And blow it off. Blow? It's like whistling. You know how to whistle, don't you? Just use Y. And
that's why I can't whistle. I've never tried using Y.
Whistle. Have you ever tried? Yeah.
I don't think I have Y on my controller.
Wow, it's like magic. Amazing. Isn't it, though?
Right. Let's give it a shot.
It took me so long to learn how to whistle because I had to find the Y button. But I eventually did. Incidentally, it's important that you cover the entire fingerprint with the powder.
Yeah, this needed the microphone on the original version.
Yeah, I remember. We struggled to figure out how to do it on emulator.
We didn't do it on emulator.
We struggled to do it. Oh yeah, you did on the Wii U, didn't you?
Yeah. No, emulator. Most emulators weren't even able to support it. I've seen at least one person get to case 1.5 of the original game where they use it on emulator and then not be able to proceed on their stream because and would have to start over with a different emulator. So
but
I have to spam Y.
Did the gamepad have a microphone for the Wii U?
We did on Wii.
Oh, how did we do it on Wii?
Probably a button like this.
Oh,
maybe motion. I don't know.
Good. Clear. Quite impressive. Next, to match the print. The police office has samples so you can tell whose finger this print belongs to.
The alt finger, stubby, pointer, middle, unmarried, and brain.
I love it.
That doesn't sound like as much fun as actually finding the print.
I also love that Emma just casually has a database of fingerprints repository on her person at all times.
Yeah, she loves forensic science.
She's not even a scientist, and she's
this is a hobby. She just goes around fingerprints places.
It's her emotional support HIPAA violation. She's carrying personal information from thousands of people. Okay, pick the person whose print you think this is. probably have a good idea whose knife this is already.
I want to say in the Ace Attorney with an actual lawyer that I've been watching, a viewer actually had a very interesting question about if you're a lawyer working on like a big case that's very stressful, are you allowed to talk to your therapist about the case? Because there's confidentiality, but you also with your therapist have a confidentiality.
Yeah.
The lawyer was a little stumped. Like he gave his thoughts, but he was like, "That's actually a very good one. Like that's hard."
Yeah, I don't like. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if he has a therapist. Like, just like that's probably why. Like, because if he had a therapist, he'd know the answer right away.
No, he probably does. The issue is it's the legality side of it.
Yeah.
Why do we have the fingerprints of all these people?
That's what I'm. It's such a weird. Yeah, like
I didn't.
Since when did Trucy go and do her fingerprints at the police station?
Like, I get why she has her own. That was easy to do, but like Plum Kataki, like they just went up to the
never.
They went up to the Yakuza just like, hey, can I get your fingerprint? You'd be dead.
Yeah.
That is a death sentence. Okay, well, who do we think it is?
Well, they're gonna want us to say that it's Waki Kataki's.
Sure. I mean, it's just comparing. I mean, it is. It is Waki Kataki's. That's 100% his. As many people as he likes. Well, you can't tell anyone else either.
Yeah, the entire world swears to secrecy, and as long as the next person swears to secrecy, it's like a reverse Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, I mean, his 2 cents were you probably can as long as you keep things vague. Yeah. Don't say any names. Don't talk in like use as little detail as you can. Just talk about what about it is stressful and stuff.
Like I know it's not law, but I know the answer with medical information and your priest. I know, like the HIPAA there.
Yeah,
and it's what you said. As long as you're not specifically saying people's names, like you can talk about situations, but as long as you don't, say enough identifiable information, it's fine. And even if you probably mess up a little bit, like because they're also sworn to secrecy, there's enough.
Well, and yeah, and in theory, nobody's gonna know because they shouldn't tell anybody. But like,
exactly,
it's still it's a complex area there.
Yeah. Plus, it's like, why would you feel like you need to discuss the intimacies of like that kind of stuff with your therapist, where you could just be like, listen, I'm in a very stressful case because I feel like we don't have enough evidence or something. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to go into details.
Well, I think it's more of like maybe it's stressful because you found out your client did do very bad crime. I won't say because I don't want the trigger warnings right now, but just think whatever the worst thing is, and you found out your client is doing it and you're trying to figure out how to navigate it. Like that's like a harder situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the fingerprints do belong to the defendant.
Yes. Isn't it amazing? The power of science. It's my life.
Yeah, but the victim was shot, so like this doesn't matter if his fingerprints are here.
Yeah, people are allowed to have knives. Who cares?
Are they in Japan?
How would you be able to cut food?
Yeah, but they cited specifically a shiv. You don't cut food with a shiv.
Well, yeah, but like if you look at it, it really just looks like a fish knife.
It might be an animation.
Yeah, like I feel like shiv is just like It's just French knife, you know. It's like
I've always thought shiv was like a makeshift knife, but
yeah, but it doesn't. That doesn't look like
no,
homemade.
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look like that. Doesn't look like what I would call a shiv.
I
But
wouldn't call it. Yeah, I would call like a sharpened plastic spoon a shiv.
yeah, eating ramen with a knife. I mean, you can. It's
Oh no, it's
risky, but
literally just a knife or a razor used as a weapon.
okay, but I still wouldn't call it a shiv. Oh, but no, the shiv specifically is used as a weapon. So she
Yeah,
said this has been
when the
used as a
knife is
weapon.
supposed to be used as a weapon, then it becomes a shiv. Yeah,
Well, she corrected that this particular one is a shiv, so this one was used as a
yeah,
weapon.
exactly. Yeah, what we're thinking about is actually a shank.
Oh, like the Shaw variety
Yeah,
that gets
there's no
redeemed.
redemption where I
Oh,
nope. There's no redemption. There's no Shawshank Redemption.
lamb shank.
Where's the lamb shank? Paulo, she's sparkling.
I will have my annual lamb in like a little over a month.
You have lamb once a year.
Easter.
I was gonna say that's fairly biblical.
Yeah, no, I found they do lamb for Easter, and I mean,
Yeah, I did.
I like lamb enough that I'll eat it if it's there. I don't like it enough that I'd buy it and cook it, and
Yeah,
it's kind
I had
of
lamb for the
weird.
first time
So.
last year, and it's like I think I agree with you. Like I was like, like I won't seek it out, but like I prefer an Easter ham, honestly.
I'm not a big ham person, which is why I actually go for the lamb usually. What I
Yeah,
don't like is I don't like the thought of the mint jelly. I don't use that.
I literally the only reason why I wanted to try the lamb was because of the mint jelly. Like I'm like I can't have mint jelly without having lamb. It doesn't make sense.
I'm not big on mint because mint usually tastes too much like toothpaste to me that I don't want to eat it.
Yeah.
Like I use toothpaste obviously, but like I spit toothpaste out. Swallowing toothpaste is not appealing to me.
No, that's
And
fair.
so I don't usually like swallowing.
Honestly,
And the jam seems like it'll be even more like toothpaste that because of the
the mint
consistency.
jam was my favorite part of having lamb. We're such different people. It's lovely.
Uh, yeah, it's spearmint. Isn't mint jam spearmint basically?
It might be pepper.
I didn't think it's pepper because it's green. Like peppermint is like candy corns, which I have a little better. I can eat candy corns. Or candy canes.
Is peppermint is not green?
Usually peppermint is the red. Like
Yeah, but I'm saying like the plant.
oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the jelly is artificially colored and not that bright glowing green color, radioactive green.
Peppermint plant.
And I'm dimming. Wait, what am I saying that to? Oh, she's
Sparkling. Look sharp. Spirits up. The real fight is yet to come. Chin up, Polly.
the trial hasn't even started. And I'm already losing. But then again, like most like peppermint patties, that's peppermint, and it still tastes too much like toothpaste to me. So
Yeah. I
I
mean, you're like a super taster, though, right? We've established that.
maybe. Like I said, I could do candy canes, but then again, ironically, I'm not swallowing candy canes, so I'm
Yeah,
like
you're like
sucking on them. So it's the act of like swallowing something that's grosses me out. If it's mint, I don't know.
I just looked up a common variety jar of mint jelly, and it's spearmint in that one, so it's probably spearmint in most of them.
Okay,
So you're right.
knife, also known as a shiv. No, not talk. Examine. There's more stuff back here. You. This mannequin is dressed up to look like a police officer. I've seen one at the station. What, a mannequin looking like a police officer? Or you've seen a police officer at the station? Because the latter seems obvious. A mannequin in place of a body.
The body of the victim has already been removed. Don't you think the victim was the noodle stand thief? Do you think?
What, you think because someone killed him because he stole it?
Yeah. Taking care of business, Lil Plum Kentucky style.
Try not to sound too eager about that, please.
She's into mafia romance novels.
Are those a thing? I guess they are a thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm surprised you don't know about it.
We probably, to be honest, we probably have them at the library. Like, I don't look at the romance section.
It's so prolific recently. Like, it's pretty intense.
There's got to be a good clue or two around here.
You're in your trash cans. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Hey there, Lolo Guru. Welcome. Just a mannequin at the police station. It wasn't dressed as a police officer at the time. Fair. Yeah, I was gonna say we probably have those types of romance novels. And we have Harlequins, which are the little books.
Yeah.
Little paperback books. They're all standard size. We get a lot of those because they're very cheap, and we probably have them in there, to be honest. Please, can't you see I'm doing my... Uh-huh? Look! Another pair of underwear!
Wow, Apollo, you're a genius at finding panties.
I'm going home now. Stop saying that! Wait, these aren't...
They're not mine!
Could these have been stolen too? I mean, I know whose those are, I'm sure, but...
So, have you met the defendant?
No!
Visiting hours are almost over at the detention center. You might want to think about wrapping it up here and heading over.
Good idea. I don't know what good it will do. We have a witness and a knife with prints. Even though the victim was shot with a gun, so that shouldn't matter. Have I mentioned I've got a bad feeling about this?
Don't worry, it's like a right tradition at this point.
Some traditions I can live without. Same TBH.
Same TBH.
Didn't we... Yeah. Single bullet to the right temple. Why are they acting like this knife is any sort of definitive evidence? Benches line the river running through the park.
Ah, a little urban oasis. I bet the children come here to splash around in the water.
That river's a little deep for splashing. And a little dirty. Like me.
Well, they could listen to the water and pretend we're playing.
A knife is sticking straight into the ground.
With a defendant's fingerprint on it, which means... You think he stuck it into the victim?
I don't know what he did with it, but I don't like it. And this is Mr. Aldoon's noodle stand, obviously.
It does say Aldoon in big letters, doesn't it?
And that mark on his paper lantern there looks familiar.
It's gonna be a little weird telling him what with the corpse and all.
Anyway, that wraps up 3 of our cases.
That's right. Congratulations, Apollo.
And leaves us with 1 case that's worse than all 3 put together. Murder.
Blech.
Sorry, my voice got low. I think my balls just dropped.
Blech.
Blue tarps have been placed on the ground around the stand. Oh, I'll hydrate.
Apollo, I bet the victim was going to have a picnic here.
Familiar salt symbol. I guess he could have eaten all the noodles he wanted.
Bye, Dark Data. Have fun.
Have a good night,
Have a
Dark
good rest of
Data.
your day. Don't touch those. They're for preserving the crime scene.
Oh, I guess the police put these tarps here after all. Bloop. Everything's gone here. We're good. We can go to the detention center. Because I guess our client got detention. June 15th. Detention center visitor room. What they meant the crime scene preserved in the salty breath. I'm sorry, meeting hours for the day are all done. But we still have 3 minutes. I'll put in your request, but don't expect anything. Father's talking in the private room with him.
Your father? I mean, the father? You mean like a priest?
I mean the suspect's father, Mr. Winfred Big Wins Kataki himself. That's what the guy cared to meet. Oh, we gotta wait. Who is?
Do you want
So-
me to be? You're the Juliet in the Romeo.
Yeah, how many am I actually voicing? I did Hickfield. I don't think I'll appear again, but I did. You did Eldon, right?
Yeah.
And Plum.
I did Kataki.
I did
Emma.
Alita. Thing is, the only other person I'm doing here though is Alita.
You can voice him if you want. You can voice her if you want. But I know that Apollo speaks a lot too, right? That's why I don't mind if I.
Yeah, but it's not super interesting. Like especially because Apollo's like the least interesting voice I have. It's not.
Yeah. I like whenever you want to voice a character, by all means do so. It's just don't feel like you have to take on more than you need to.
No, I don't. You're already though taking on a definitely a majority of the characters.
Yeah.
And it's not like, even though they're fiancés, I don't think we'll have a lot of scenes with Alita and Waki talking to each other anyways.
Yeah.
I'll workshop it. Die, you! You're the one on your way out, old. They're here. Oh, but you could be this guy.
Whoa.
Whoa, this guy radiates power. Power with a cute apron.
I love that apron. You Walkie's lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm Big Wind Kataki, fourth head of the Kataki family. Capiche?
Actually, I came to speak to your son.
Mr. Justice.
Yes?
My son's innocent. He killed no one. If he were found guilty, it wouldn't be good. Capiche?
Yes, I'm all about capiching. Capiche loud and clear.
You gotta do more than just understand to make it. You'll learn though. Even if the lesson comes at the end of your short life.
I don't feel so good. What's the big idea, old man? You can't treat me like a kid no more, not now. You know, I wanted to go to the Clink. I like it here. But
I wanted to go to jail, Dad. You don't get it.
You must be Waki. A G's not a G till he does hard time. Bizoy! How do I can't say that threateningly.
Yeah, I'm like, who says that? Bizoy!
What am I, Sheldon?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Sheldon Big Bang?
from Big Bang Theory? Sheldon Big Bang? Sheldon Theory?
You'll see.
Bizoy.
When I get out of here, things will change.
My apologies, Mr. Justice. He's usually such a nice boy.
Forgive me if I have a hard time believing that. Ha! You gotta take me under your wing this time, old man. You heard me. I don't need no trial. I did it. What?
I kind of like his bomber jacket. I think that's enough for today, Mr. Justice. Are those eyebrows or just like black eye sockets?
I thought they were sunglasses, but there's actually no frame, so they're not sunglasses.
Yeah.
So I guess they must be eyebrows?
It might just be like it's supposed to be like simulating like he's like so broody that like his eyes are like sunken in and it's all dark and menacing. But I like to think that they're probably just big thick eyebrows.
They probably. I'm checking what the wiki describes them as.
Don't let me down tomorrow.
Let's see.
Did I mention on stream that I have Hawaiian roller coaster ride stuck?
Never mind. They will reveal it.
Oh, it's gonna be revealed.
Hawaiian roller coaster ride. What?
I have that song stuck in my head for some reason.
It's a good song.
Yeah, but you know.
But I don't know most of the words, so like I know the English parts, but.
I liki liki Milo Milohi.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Wow, good for you. Do you know what it means?
I used to.
Okay. So much for talking to our client.
But we made so much progress today. We even found my panties. I had fun, at least.
Of course, the biggest mystery of all remains. How am I supposed to build a case for the trial?
Oh, almost forgot. It's time for my show. Tonight I'm performing at the Wonder Bar. Oh, that's funny. Wunderbar. Wunderbar? It's like wonderful in German.
Yeah.
You should come check it out. But yeah, I have like this thing where like I really liked hearing, learning the meaning behind like and how to sing those parts in like songs and Disney movies, like the Circle of Life part, like Nancy Ngonyama Babakiti
Sai pizza babagush babagna.
It's Nancy Ngonya Mabakiti Wema, and it's here we are together, we're a family, or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Scar's original name means garbage.
Garbage. Yeah. I mean, yeah, at that point, I definitely would change my name.
And like, kill his family and stuff. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, Hamlet.
Huh? Mr. Wright's not here today?
I mean, he said his old foot injury was acting up. Also, he's not an attorney anymore. He doesn't have to go to every single court case that exists.
Yeah, but he's kind of Apollo's mentor at this point. Old injury? He was all smiles yesterday. He also kind of left Apollo, like, mentorless.
Yeah. Yes, he smiled and he said we'd be fine as long as you're there, Trucy.
Yes. Fine. We'll be fine. Here comes Justice. I started my voice training at 5 this morning.
Ooh, do some now. I want to see... Well, here.
Huh? Oh, okay. Ahem. My name is Apollo Justice, and I'm fine.
That sounds more like a self-mantra than voice training.
The worst self-mantra ever. I'm fine! I'm fine! You know what I'm saying? No. Oh, this was on Apollo. That was, Yeah, that was question marks.
Is that the price of that shirt? He never removed the price tag?
I'm fine! You know what I'm saying?
It's
Where?
$10.
Oh, they're $10. Doesn't look like a tag though.
That's what I'm saying. That's such an iconic. It's just $10.
It's a statement that he values himself at $10.
Like, I love that. I know that I said peak comedy was when people slot in words wrong, but also peak comedy is like foreign shirts that have notoriously terrible English writing on them. Ugh, that's so good.
It's meant to be a statement that to the world around us, all we are is a commodity to be used.
I love it. Listen, Wakikataki is a paragon of virtues, and he is woke and wants everybody to know.
Good morning. Also, his hair must take so much work.
Oh, I could almost guarantee it.
He has to dye at least 2 extra colors in addition to his hair color. And then,
Yeah.
the amount of hair gel he has to do to get all of that. Yo, sup? Hit me with a guilty verdict, G. See if I care. It's literally not my job.
Okay, Mafia Naruto, get out of here.
You just hang loose and let things go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Not really.
Waki, don't be running your mouth like that in here.
Until you said that, I didn't notice the whiskers. But
Oh, you did it? Yeah, that's
No.
the first thing I noticed this time around. I'm like, oh, gosh, those whiskers are prominent.
see, that's the difference between me and you, old man. I ain't afraid of no cops. Real G's can keep it hard till they spend some hard time in the pen. Or, real G's can't keep it hard. Can't keep it hard.
Can't keep it hard? Can't keep it hard?
Real G's can't keep
You
it
said
real.
It twice. You
Real-
said it twice.
Because I thought I read it wrong, and I did, and I read it even worse. Just scratch that from the record. Real G's can't keep it real till they spend some hard time in the pen.
There you go. There you go. Because the subtext is that real G's can only. That's funny.
And only get hard if they've done in jail.
Yeah. Erectile dysfunction. That's the standard. You gotta go to jail. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. I've never been to jail once, and I keep it hard all the time. Sounds like they've both been doing voice training too, Apollo.
My worst fears realized. The trial's starting, and I haven't even had a real talk with my client.
Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Ooh.
Court is now in session for the trial of Wakikataki. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Wow.
It's hard to do rock star German person.
Is it?
For me, it is.
I feel like that's a common trope.
Is it? Like, the only thing that I know like German is like, it's like the whole like, we're going to pump you up, but that's not even German. Is it German?
Was that Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, he's from Switzerland. Is that where he's from?
Austria.
He's Austrian. Yeah, I realized it as soon as you started saying it. Cause it's like, well, cause he's so multifaceted, right? Like he's like he has Riz.
Who?
Cool.
Clavier or
Yeah.
Or I was gonna say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, both of them for sure.
Does he have Riz?
Oh, he's super charismatic. Yeah.
Okay. I've always
didn't know that?
I've always just kind of thought of him as just like a meathead.
Yeah, he's big himbo energy. You have to have Riz to be a himbo.
Eh. I don't know. I thought I remember him having some questionable views, and that kind of hurt his resume.
Oh, when like, I mean, he definitely was like very problematic. But again, like Javier, multifaceted. It's a multifaceted individual. But I'm trying to be sexy. Trying to be sexy. Nah, I'm just SpongeBob. Okay. El doctor. Ready to. Nope. I'm not ready. Ready to rock and roll, Judge. Ah, it's him, the guy from yesterday. He's a prosecutor?
It's Mr. Gavin's brother. Long time no see, Prosecutor Gavin. Were you taking a leave of absence? What?
So funny.
Why?
Like, the judge is just so impartial. He's like, yeah, I know that I just sentenced your brother to death sentence like 2 weeks ago. But
Well, he probably doesn't remember.
Yeah. 0 object permanence. You know that little band I started in my free time?
Can you do a little more German? Like, you know that little band?
Oh, I can't. I do not. Truly, I realized you just did that. You gave me the perfect prompt. I cannot. You know that little band I started in my free. It's like French. Like, it sounds French to me. Am I sounding right?
Yeah, I feel like it can kind of be close to French. I just lost every French and German viewer we had, but like...
Because like I could do, ironically enough, I don't know why I'm struggling so much, because I could just do Francisca.
Just Francisca, but like after her balls drop.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think I particularly go very feminine with Francisca anyways. Like, I just go real annoying. Just like, real up here! It's like, you know that little band I started in my free time? The thing is, we've got real popular.
Yeah, just like an octave lower.
Yeah.
I guess it's a little raspier though than probably he would have.
Well, yeah, right?
He's a rock star.
You know that little band. See, it's like, it starts getting French. By the way, you know that little band I started in my free time? Thing is, we got real popular.
Just try, when you try to do an accent, try to ground yourself in like what little words you know of the language. Like,
9.
yeah.
Yeah. Guten Tag. Actually, I sprechen had to say 9 to your fans when 3 of your singles got platinum, yeah?
That's the yeah.
I see. To be honest, I was a little concerned. I fear that you might still be distraught over that one trial.
Not to worry, Judge. I wouldn't mind this day in the court of the world. I wouldn't miss this court in the day for the world. It's more than... I just had a stroke. Whoa! It's worth even more than VIP passes to one of my concerts, yeah? How could I pass up a chance to see the true strength of the little boy who bested my brother? It was worth canceling a show or two.
Understood. You may give your opening statements to the court.
Before that, I was thinking. Is the air at the courtroom not a bit serious?
It is a court of law.
That's no way to get the crowd jumping, Judge.
They're not supposed to jump. This is a courtroom.
Wait, how do you say that?
Achtung, I think.
Because I know that's a word, but like I don't think it's action.
It means danger.
Yeah.
Achtung.
Achtung.
Oh, it's a song. It's a studio album by the rock band U2.
Okay, well it's like Achtung. Achtung.
Achtung.
Achtung.
Ach. Achtung.
Achtung. Achtung. Watch out. Achtung, baby. Today we play my way.
I don't know.
Today we
German cool name's gonna come and get really pissed. So
I know. Listen, we already got Canadian cool name on the ropes.
what's that noise?
Oh, the music playing. It's diegetic. It's like playing right now.
Yeah, no, he's a rock star. He's playing his music. He has it playing in the back to the speakers.
Yeah, he gives everybody in court a set of AirPods.
No, I think they're just in the court speakers.
No. Sometimes you have to get on up in order to get down to prosecuting.
This is crazy.
The victim, Paul Maractus, director of the Maractus Clinic. The scene in People Park. He was found pulling a noodle. He was found pulling a noodle stand.
If that's the way the body was found, I struggle to believe the body could just stay like that.
Probably not. Yeah, like his center of gravity is like towards his back. He'd fall down.
Well, and have no grip. His hands were like wrapped around the bars, and I feel like I don't think rigor mortis was set in quick enough anyway to hold that.
Yeah, he would have dropped before rigor mortis set in enough for him to be able to hold on to it.
What in the world was a doctor doing pulling a noodle stand?
Yes, I believe you will only find that out by asking the defendant here, right now. Because it's an undeniable truth that he shot the victim.
What do you mean undeniable?
If you are to glare at anyone at justice, glare at the punk in the defendant's chair. His crime was witnessed quite clearly, you see.
Very well. Please admit this witness to the court.
Ooh, he's so cool. 9, not yet. First, there's a little matter to be cleaned up.
Could you talk without the accompaniment?
Absolutely not. Wow, you're so cool. I'm on his side.
He makes me want to better learn how to play my electric guitar so that I can air guitar better. Imagine learning to play guitar just so you can be better at air guitar.
Listen, I would appreciate it. I would respect that. Like, I want to learn how to play the drums just so I can air drum better. Like, I don't want to actually perform. I just want to be able to, like, actually do the air drumming to the beat whenever that's, like, a song playing, you know?
You can move to the beat.
I swear I could see the guitar for a second. What?
You can air drum to the beat without knowing how to play drums. It's just to the beat.
Well, yeah, but then, like, I don't know, like, you know, like, I gotta, like, know how to, like, hit the snares and then, like, which drum actually makes which sound, you know?
Fair,
Otherwise,
but
I'm just hitting the same drum every time, you know?
But, like, you don't... At least with air drumming, it's hard to look too dumb because drumming's kind of like a very logical action. Air guitar, you kind of look silly if you can't properly, like, do it. Like, mimic a guitar movement.
Yeah, I got it.
What is it, Prosecutor Gavin?
The motive, Judge. Why did the little punk do it? Why did he kill the director of the Maractus Clinic?
Not so fast. The defendant doesn't have to explain that. His motive can remain a mystery.
Oh, but what the defendant specifically requests to do so, as he did this morning.
I don't think as a lawyer we're able to, like, keep our client from admitting anything, which sucks.
Yeah.
Like, we could... Oh, God.
I want to give a shout out to all my homies, I believe he said.
Like, we can advise him that he shouldn't incriminate himself, but I guess we can't stop him.
Yeah. I mean, the best I think you could do is, like, ask the judge for a insanity plea.
I mean, that'd be a really crappy thing to do unless they wanted it. Like...
Well, yeah, but I'm saying if you really think they didn't do it, but the person is insisting that they did, right? It's like you could be like, judge, like truly, like we have evidence to support that he didn't do it. Like we think that he's saying he wants to do it on purpose to go to jail. I think that he's not right mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
I've been
Why would you?
I've been watching too much of lawyer reaction to all this, and I know that at this point the defense attorney's responsibility isn't necessarily to get a not guilty verdict. It is to try to get the lowest possible punishment. Which, if the lowest possible is not guilty, then you go for that. But like, if they're going to admit anything, at that point, your goal is just to try to get the punishment as low as possible.
Yeah.
So.
What?
What is right?
They always say that on stage you should hit the crowd with speed and ferocity. Sounds like got you good, huh, Polly?
Well, this is highly unusual, but the court will now hear from the defendant concerning his motive in the crime. So, you, son, are the defendant. Waki, are you?
I ain't your son, old man!
I ain't your old man, son.
You stepped at Kentucky, you best be prepared to step strong.
You step to a public official, you'd best be prepared to step into jail. You gotta hand it to him. Waki sure has guts.
It's not his guts I'm worried about.
Well, then the court will not hear the testimony of the defendant's motive. From the defendant himself. I've never heard this happen before in my 268 years of judging.
On average.
I'll tell you one thing, that doctor was a quacker. Someone had to show him what's what. I was at his clinic about half a year ago. He messed up my op something bad. And they just lets me go without a word. See you later, bye. So I gotta go in, get another doc to patch me up again. That was there, done figured it out. No OG's gonna let that pass. So I went to his pad that night, you know what I'm saying?
You're saying you were on one of the You're saying you were one of the victim's patients?
A lot of stuff goes down real when you're keeping... A lot of stuff goes down when you're keeping it real on the street. True that.
Oh, by the way, your bot is putting the multi-stream link again.
Everybody go check out all those people, just not right now.
Listen, I would have capitalized on it, but I feel like the moment passed. It's been on there for a while. I thought that was just your regular, like, check out the Discord.
Yeah, no, I always forget after the multi-streams. I'm just tired, and then I just close it all.
I mean, you stream a lot.
Usually 2, sometimes 3 times a week. I'll tell you one thing, that doc was whack.
Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination.
Can't believe this is the first time hearing about all this. Okay. First of all, the word you're looking for is quack. Isn't that a little harsh? He's your family doctor. Oh, yeah, he's called him a quacker.
Yeah. I just think it's funny that Apollo had to correct him. Felt the need to correct him.
Who asked you, pointy locks? Just who do you think you are? Your lawyer? Look, I ain't trying to hear that. He was a quacker, plain and simple. Someone to show him a float. By someone, you mean... Was there anyone with a score to settle with this doctor? Besides you, I mean. You better ask somebody else, Holmes. What do I care? I made up my own mind and did what had to be done. Straight gangsta style.
Straight gangsta style.
Oh, why were you so mad at this doctor?
Yo, sit back and listen while I drop it, J-Man. It's clinic body. Javier must have opted something bad. So you're a patient at the Maractus Clinic half a year ago? For what reason? I had what you might call a mark of honor.
Can you explain precisely what was wrong?
We had a little run-in with the Rivals family.
With the Rivals family?
We had a little run-in with the Rivals family.
Rivals Gale's now ready.
I at least got to do that much. This is too much, that name. That's when I pulled a jack move. And ran into an ambush. G busted a cap right in me.
According to my sources, you couldn't stand the stress of waiting. And ran in 15 minutes before the appointed time, by yourself.
Hey, I was more than a match for those guys. Even though I got shot and had to go to the hospital, so clearly I wasn't.
So you were carried to the Maractus Clinic from there.
Apparently he was shot in the heart.
And they were too late.
And I was not to blame for that one.
Shot in the heart and he's still alive?
I can catch bullets between my teeth.
No, you can't, Trucy. Stop bullshitting.
I was gonna say, damn, Trucy. Like, that's like not sequitur central, but also very incorrect. But I never learned how to catch them with my heart.
The bullet stopped just short of my thumper, you know what I'm saying? I would have been golden if it weren't for that whack doc. Can't even take out a stupid bullet.
So, as you said, the surgery was a failure.
That ain't all of it, Holmes. Yeah, just lets me go with a word. See you later, bye. What do you mean he just let you go without a word? What do you think it means? It's whack, that's what.
Not sure what that means, but it sounds bad.
Yeah, it sounds as though a doctor wished to hide his mistake.
I love that the doctor is with a K. Is that how they spell doctor, or is that just the accent?
I'm a cow.
Wow.
This is why he let the defendant go.
He's a liar, straight up. He's a better G than me. So this bullet is still... You know it. I can still feel it. Right there in my chest, pressing up against my heart.
Your words are like a bullet shot straight into my heart. Or something to that effect. Incidentally, that's from one of our hit singles.
Well, that sounds like a straightforward case of malpractice.
Word, J-Man. Weren't no accident, that's for shizzle.
That's faux shizzle.
It seems that there were issues with this doctor.
Man, put him down was like doing the world a favor. Wacky, please consult your lawyer before saying things like that.
Shut up, Apollo. Back straight.
Jersey, don't make me make you catch another bullet with your teeth.
Why did this mistake only come to light that day?
It was found during the family health checkup.
The family health checkup? That was the wackest thing of all. All those G's lining up, taking eye exams and all that. Better die young than fade away, bzoy.
Bzoy. A relief to hear.
Eh? What's a relief?
Oh, did your father not tell you? That bullet you carry is so close to your heart. If not attended to immediately, it could kill you.
What?
Yes, Dr. Maractus had knowledge concerning this ticking time bomb in you. Knowledge that could have saved your life.
No way. That's whacked.
There's proof. Your checkup report.
Isn't that, like, Can you get that? Isn't
I
that
guess if it's relevant? If it's relevant for law enforcement, then yes, they could access it if
So-
they filed the correct report.
So with HIPAA protected stuff, if the because I don't know how relevant this is, how they could have said this was relevant.
Yeah, like that would be the issue, right? Like I don't know how relevant it would be, but like yeah, like HIPAA doesn't
Like-
protect like the law needing to get access to that information.
Like I'm sure we're going to prove it's relevant, but I don't feel it's relevant enough ahead of time that they could have requested that.
Yeah. How ironic that you would kill the one man capable of helping you. You're almost as careless as he was. What do you say?
Ah ha 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 ha. It was a laugh.
How do German people laugh? Ha 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 ha.
Oh no, not like that.
Jesse. James.
Oh, I was way too slow to be James. Oh,
Ooh, I like that little lilt right at the end.
that's kind of how he does it.
I don't remember Jeff laughing.
Jeff? Who's that?
Jeff and Jess. Jeff and Jess. The two Team Rocket members. Yeah, I don't remember James. What's the girl's name now?
Jessie.
I'm lost. Jessie. Jeff and Jessica.
If you ever have trouble remembering Jesse's name, just remember that James is fiance with Jezebel, who looked like Jesse.
Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna help me remember. Wow.
Who could forget Jezebel? She was in like 4 episodes, and like
Yeah, but why would
whipped
Jezebel
him.
remind me of Jessica?
Jessica? You mean Jess? Or Jesse?
Isn't Jesse just short for Jessica?
They've never once called her Jessica. Like, it probably is, but I mean, maybe they once did somewhere. It's Jesse and James.
Jesse and James.
Because the reference is Jesse James.
Who's Jesse James?
He was was he real or fiction? I don't know if he was real or fictional, but like a like Western.
Real.
Okay, real according to my roommate.
Oh, thank you, Nero.
Well, Jesse James, an outlaw and bank robber.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, because the other Team Rocket duo you meet, or they show
Butch
in
and
this.
Cassidy.
Yeah, Butch
I
and
know
Cassidy
them.
for Butch Cassidy.
Like Butch Cassidy. I know that makes sense.
Yeah, no, every Team Rocket duo has to be named after a Western outlaw.
Mm.
It's the
Billy
rules.
and Kid.
Probably.
Let's get this gig started.
Started.
We've had enough of a warm-up act, yeah? Time to hear from the witness. Milwaukee sure is quiet all of a sudden.
I'm a little uneasy myself. Is this Gavin's strategy?
Ooh.
Freaking heck.
Look at them plump lips. So, will you tell us your name and occupation?
You could have him.
Just a little kissy kiss. What's the prompt? Because if you give me the prompt, it's gonna be very effeminate.
I mean, that's probably fine, but like, clearly he's just like an academic, very snobby. I think like.
Definitely a scholar class in Final Fantasy 14.
Don't taint their names like that.
That's what they wear in the scholar class. That's the final outfit you get.
But that's not what they look like.
That's what my scholar looked like. Either way,
Listen, his face looks like he ran into a glass door and just it never stopped being smushed. Like You can always workshop it if it ends up not being to your taste.
Thank you. My name. My name is Wesley Stickler. By occupation, God, it's about a livelihood under which the definition must confess to be.
I'll give you the whole thing.
However, we must acknowledge that the meaning of identity, which is commonly attached to the notion of occupation, and once we have accepted this reality, we see that our confusion is not gestalt per se, but it derives from the vagueness inherited from our representation of thought.
Maybe I don't need to show you. I think you more or less got it.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was gonna keep going, but like once I did, I picked it up. Listen, Old Bag has nothing on. He has nothing on Old Bag.
I mean, he only had 2 lines per text back instead of 3, and they're shorter.
Like that. That's like downright legible and understandable for Old Bag level of speed.
Yeah.
By which he means to say that he is a student. A junior at Ivy University, if I'm not mistaken.
Ivy University, I know that school. It's the only school in Ace Attorney.
It's the only school.
Yes, in the Department of Science and Engineering. Filled with curiosity for all things, I spend my days in the pursuit of truth, honing my... Stickler, please direct said curiosity to the case at hand today.
Very well, Mr. Stickler. Please testify to the court about what you saw on the night of the crime.
You ask quite simplistically what I saw, and I understand that Homo sapien possessed 2 eyes, each of which is designed to receive and interpret data, sending images in the form of signals.
Is that all? Night in the park.
It keeps catching me off guard.
Yeah, no, you got it.
Yeah, I missed the very last part before it starts going, but yeah, it's like.
No, you got it.
No, I missed the however we must. I said you asked quite simplistically what I saw, and then it went to understand because I didn't see however we must.
That night, I passed through the park on my way home from shopping when I saw them. One man pulling a stand, another man facing him. I saw them quite clearly. The man facing the victim was the defendant. In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointing at the man pulling the stand. A shot. A bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front, square in the forehead. It's very effeminate.
Was there anyone else in the park at that time?
I can say with 100% accuracy that there was not.
Why does he kiss his hand?
Listen, I love it. I'm gonna do that from now on. Every time I turn a page.
The pistol that witness refers to is this.
The court accepts this into evidence. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may cross-examine the witness.
Hold it.
Who? No.
Whoa! Don't point that thing at me.
Don't worry, I can handle myself around guns.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have your finger on the trigger.
Don't, like clocks it, like pulls the cock back. It's like, don't worry, I can handle myself around guns. Magic guns, at least the one that pigeons come out of.
Very reassuring.
I don't think I've ever seen a gun that shoots out pigeons.
That's a magic item. Well, it said magic guns.
It would have to be, because like...
Listen, when I play a artificer, you better give me a magic gun that shoots pigeons.
Listen, you keep asking me for all these things about your magical characters that are homebrewed.
Yeah.
They're already a Mayo Genasi that's the avatar of a dying star. Like, it's like...
Dying star? What?
Ridiculous. You don't remember we talked about that?
Listen, most magic items I ask for are completely useless. Like,
Yeah,
what
no,
actual
you're not
use will I
wrong.
have for this?
Like a gun that shoots pigeons is not very useful.
Unless it's shooting pigeons at the speed of a bullet. That actually might do decent damage.
No, it's actually
It'd do psychic damage, probably, though.
it's shooting pigeons at the speed of bullets. It's shooting bullets at the speed of pigeons. Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
I don't know what the speed of a pigeon is. I don't
You
know.
know.
A pigeon at the speed of the bullet, if you just smash that, it'd like explode on you. That'd be more like traumatic than anything
Yeah,
else.
It'd be very traumatic to be.
It's
just filled
psychic
with bullet all the
damage.
time.
Okay, but yeah, June 14th, metallic object found in your heart, urgent exam needed. Cool. We never actually examined these, sadly. Oh boy.
Oh, these bloomers sure have a distinct design. That's you.
Oh, you certainly know who they belong to at a glance.
That way, she doesn't have to write her name on them. Genius.
I would think writing her name would be easier than drawing a plum blossom. Is that not her name? What does that say?
Oh, I don't know enough kanji.
But shouldn't they know it?
They should, yeah.
I forgot this was
Oh,
an entire
God.
thing.
You have access to the entire cart.
But I can't really examine much.
Huh, look at this, Apollo. Mr. Aldoon spelled his name backwards on this side.
Trucy? You're an idiot. I think this says noodle. As in Aldoon's noodles. Which is also just a word.
Oh, I get it.
It's just a normal word. It's just an innocent word.
I can't stand it.
So the name of his store is the same whether you read it forward or backward. Oh, no, that's you.
So the name of the store is the same whether you read it forwards or backwards.
I thought we already went over this and it wasn't. No, it is. I don't know why
It is.
you like argued it for and like made a point that
No, I added an extra N somewhere when I was reading it backwards.
okay.
I said Eldoon Snoodles or something.
That's still an N where it should be.
I don't remember.
Hey there, Jimkin, how are you? Cowenzy.
Yeah, it has others too, but I can't show them on Twitch.
That's against TOS.
That's against TOS.
Yeah, I guess it would be. Well, except for the last S. Oh, there it is. Aldoon's noodles. Because Aldoon's noodles, not noodle. So it'd be
Yeah.
Seldoon's noodle.
Selden Snoodle.
Yeah, it'd be Seldoon's noodle backwards.
Yeah. Hey, how about the store? What? Team me? Oh, I didn't realize that team was what is it, a palindrome? Is that what is when it's the same backwards? It's a different backwards or whatever.
But that isn't. Backwards is TAEMMAET.
Oh, that's probably where the pun comes from. Listen, I'm Trucy-kin right now. Like my brain is just. But how about a store called Team Me? I believe it.
Close, but that would be Tame Mate backwards. And what kind of store is that?
Why a store that sells meat? It's not meat unless it's Team Meat.
Again,
Then
backward.
like flips 180.
Okay, there's nothing else here. I just like the image of this though.
You could do a. Can I say the S word on the stream? It's a curse word. It means
What?
poop.
That means what? Oh yeah, no, you could say that. I was like, are you talking a slur? Because no.
No, it's the S word that means poop.
Okay.
You can make a shit post out of it. Like put some
That's not
vaporwave.
even a swear anymore because that's just a compound word.
I just wasn't sure, but yeah, like just put like vaporwave and then just like have the noodle stand twisting. That'd be a good one.
Yeah. Aldoon had
post.
enough trying to defeat the Dragonborn and opened up a noodle shop.
Oh, Alduin's Snoodle. Remember when you were trying to say Alduin's Noodle backward? It kind of sounded like you said Alduin.
Yeah. Did we actually? Kind of. There's more dialogue.
So the defendant's prints are on this knife.
That would mean he was here the night of the crime.
That's what I call irrefutable scientific evidence. Neat.
Not so neat when it happens to be evidence against our client. Anything relevant here? No, not really. I think we're good otherwise. I think we examined the other stuff last week. Well, Mr. Justice may cross-examine the witness. Yes, Your Honor. Trucy? Why are you staring like that at the witness?
That man. I can't help but feel I've seen him somewhere before.
Hmm? Night in the park.
I mean, I already know what we have to do.
I do too. Why? Do you want to skip pressing or?
No, I know sometimes you do skip into just presenting the right thing, but if you want to, we can. If not, we can press. That's fine.
It's up to you. This is your character voice.
Yeah, we can keep going. Then.
Okay, but yeah, I know what to do too. It was fairly obvious.
Yeah.
On the way home from shopping, you say? Why go through the park?
A fantastic inquiry.
Fantastic, eh?
A fascinating inquiry, even. Revealing me culpable of being so insufficiently verbose. Let us consider the time saved by passing through the park on the way home from the store. In that time, I am capable of solving 2 GMAT problem sets. On average, it required me 3 minutes 24 seconds to complete one said set. Ergo, the time to complete 2 on average is 6 minutes 46 seconds. However, in that case, it's a question of the verbal category in which...
That's enough. Enough. I get the idea. Mr. Justice, the court hopes to finish cross-examination sometime this month. Yeah, that'd be nice. I agree. we only have another week, so...
Please, I've a recording booked after this trial. And I've got a show to perform.
Geez, sorry you're all so busy. Were these men talking by any chance?
Now that you mention it, they were, though I can't claim I've heard them clearly. Only fragments such as, you lied to me, oh, and I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, pal. It's just as our defendant claims.
Laughs in German.
Deutsch, 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 Deutsch. Laughs in German.
I got delightfully reminded of when you had to cry in Bohemian in Great Ace Attorney,
Yeah.
and they had the little what are the things above the E's?
Umlauts?
Yeah, the umlauts and the crying, and you had to do that.
That was definitely an experience. Especially with somebody who actually I'm trying to pronounce the characters as they actually are written. So it's how do you cry with umlauts? It's
Wow.
I believe he wished to teach the victim what it felt like to take a bullet in the heart.
If that's true, then this is a vital piece of testimony.
Sounds like you heard them clearly enough to me.
Someone's holding it. Might I be allowed to amend my testimony?
What now?
To be precise, he did not say power, but man. Yes, that was the way of it. I swear it on my diploma.
What's the difference?
And this other man, who was he?
Did it actually amend it? No, that's what it said before. How can you be so sure it was the defendant? The crime took place at night. It would have been too dark.
Perhaps I was remiss to not mention anything. Perhaps I was remiss in not mentioning this earlier.
Huh?
You see, in class, I always sit in the very backmost seat. You know why?
Who cares?
So you can quickly go to the next class when you're done. Oh, because I do not wish anyone to copy my perfect notes.
This relates to your testimony how?
I mentioned this to illustrate my predisposition to that which is perfect. It was dark, you say, yet there are lights in the park. If I say that the defendant was in the park that night, then he was in the park that night. It's a hard, immutable fact. He sure is confident. He is confident.
He seems to be telling the truth, too. Sigh.
Nijima.
Are you sure the pistol you saw is the same as the one just submitted as evidence?
Am I sure? Surely you jest. Or so a comely witness would be tempted to say.
Huh?
Yet I have no common witness. I see only events as they are, but the logical structure governing the events. First, we must consider the fact that it was night in the park, which indeed restricted my field of vision due to insufficient levels of illumination. Now, if we consider that the pistol, let us call it Object A, was indeed shrouded in darkness, it has become difficult to say whether a certain Object A was indeed Object A. I think he means he couldn't see it that clearly.
My badge for a normal witness.
Yet the fact that a pistol was fired before my eyes is indisputable. I can still see it when I close my eyes. The defendant raised his weapon.
And there's the contradiction.
Yes.
Are you absolutely certain only one shot was fired?
Yes, of course it was one shot. Why do you ask?
Aha! A contradiction, finally! Mr. Stickler, according to the court record, the pistol was fired twice. Clear contradiction.
Good eyes, Justice. You're cool. Real cool.
Hey? You really think so?
Yet there's no reason why this other shot had to have been fired that night.
Meaning?
This pistol came from the Kentucky family mansion, ja? I think it's not unreasonable to assume the pistol had been fired once before that night. During perhaps another altercation?
Ugh, he's got a point.
Judging from his smug expression, I say Prosecutor Gavin had that answer ready before he even spotted the problem.
He seems pretty confident in his testimony.
We always make the biggest mistakes when we're most confident.
That's why I'm never confident. Then I will never make a mistake.
He's got a weak point somewhere, Paulo. Find it.
Right. Better give that testimony another listen. Okay. Well, we all know.
That people are the same.
In the forehead, huh? Where is it? That right, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, unless his right temple is in his forehead, but... I mean, I'm no doctor.
I'm no doctor.
Whew, if that's all of it, I think I have a chance.
Is that too relaxing? I see it, Justice.
Huh? Or... Objection!
Once is quite enough, Mr. Justice.
Apollo, pace yourself. This trial's not over yet.
Right. Look at this.
The autopsy report? Is there a problem with the autopsy report?
Right, a problem. Problem. Yes, the problem is the location of the entry wound.
Location?
You testified that the killer shot the victim square in the forehead, did you not?
I've already determined your angle of this inquiry. Oh God.
You missed a lot of text.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna read it. I'll read it again later. I looked away for 1 second. Krypton particles
You
are
probably
rare.
shouldn't for this character.
I know. God. Okay.
Allow me to explain. It really is quite simple, really. First, I understand that when I said square, I speak not geometric absolute. What I mean by this is, for example, the defection of a meter. The defection of a meter, yeah, is 1,650,763.73 times the wavelength of the light emitted by a krypton particle, as we all know. In addition to, it is a well-known fact that krypton particles are rare and invisible to the naked eye. At which point, the basic fallacy of your line of reasoning, namely that what
Mr. Justice.
Like, what the heck does it even mean? I don't understand
That
this
doesn't
part.
even mean anything. Yeah, like
What is-
literally it doesn't mean anything.
What is... I don't know what defection means, so...
Yeah, I think I meant to say the definition of
No,
the meter.
because the definition wouldn't be that 1.6 million times the wavelength of light emitted by a krypton particle. I don't think it's definition. I think that's a math thing.
defection.
Because you're not speaking in geometric absolute. He's talking about square. I don't know. Yes? Oops.
Was your objection to these are krypton particle things?
that this is the big time, and you're obsessed with something so small, you disappoint me.
No, I'm obsessed with something big.
Oh, it's the quantity or amount by which anything falls short.
Okay. Yeah, I still don't understand what anything said.
Means in math. Yeah, it doesn't. I feel like it was just verbosity for the sake of it.
I mean, there's a bigger, less nitpicky problem here.
To tell.
Just look at the autopsy report. Look at the autopsy report. Location of the entry wound was the right temple.
The temple.
Mr. Stickler, you said quite clearly that the victim was shot square in the forehead. That's a contradiction, isn't it? It is, right? Finally.
Justice. Oh, justice.
Yes?
Your tactics are outdated, trying to shake the witness by objecting to trifles? Surely you haven't forgotten the fatal wound your master suffered 7 years ago.
See, it did say 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was practicing law. We established 5 to 6 years ago, guaranteed, because of the last case of the last game of the trilogy.
It could have been 7 at the very stretch of the range. If it was 2018 and then 2025.
Yeah, maybe.
Phoenix, right? Was it?
Look, I know the wound is in the wrong place according to this testimony.
Yeah.
Are your eyes okay, sir?
They're sine waves. They're sine waves.
Hey, forehead.
Forehead?
Let us imagine that you are walking through a park. You see two men facing each other, one with a pistol trained on the other. What would you do, forehead?
I tell them to put the pistol down and think about what they're doing. Well, I guess I'd try to stop them. I'd probably shout, "Stop!"
And you, Fräulein? Me?
You catch the bullet in their teeth.
I'd probably scream, eek!
Why? You could just catch them with your teeth, you said.
And you, Stickler? What did you shout, Ivanda?
Ah! If the victim turned his head at the last moment. Gulp.
Ah, yes, thank you for jogging my memory.
Sounds like an addendum to the testimony is required.
I actually want to adjust volumes real quick. Okay, that should be good.
As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. Ceases at once, you two! I cried, with composure. The victim turned in the direction of my voice and a shot rang out. Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have become frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene.
I see. So you attempted to stop the crime.
Indeed, with composure. Maybe the criminal wouldn't have fired if you hadn't shouted like that.
That's it. It's his fault. He's the criminal then. Well, that doesn't really matter now, unfortunately. What?
The criminal, Tim.
He's the criminal, Tim?
It's him. He's the criminal, Tim.
Oh.
Let us consider this new testimony, shall we? Observe the diagram, if you would.
I believe it's pronounced diaphragm.
Dilate the diaphragm, if you would. The witness, Mr. Stickler, was it? Stood here. He shouted, "Oh, stop, please," or something to this nature. The victim responded by looking in the witness's direction.
Wait.
If the
Wait. This King Zora just slowly turning.
Yeah, it's just the rest of the case is just King Zora. I should do that as a reward for when I finally get channel points or whatever. Just have like a GIF of King Zora slowly weighing his way through the stream for the rest of the stream.
I mean, that'd be good. That's one of the best moments of Ocarina of Time. I'm watching somebody play Ocarina of Time for the first time, and he absolutely loved that moment. So,
It's so good. It's iconic.
like, you would think you'd find it annoying, but it's somehow not.
It's surprising. Yeah, you're right. Like you would think like a force like if frankly would amount to like a loading screen. Like
It's like a solid 30 seconds.
yeah, it's substantial. If the killer were to have fired at just that moment, as we can see, the bullet would have struck the right temple, as in the report.
That does seem to be the case.
Witness is the power of a junior in Ivy University's Department of Science.
Very well, Mr. Justice. You may cross-examine the witness.
So you saw a raised pistol. Weren't you frightened?
It can be said that we students at Ivy University know no fear. The moment I saw the pistol, my inner sense of justice compelled me to take action.
That was certainly brave of you. He might have gotten shot.
Eh? You certainly were lucky. If I were in the killer's shoes, I certainly would have left the witness behind. Actually, it looks like he had no idea he was in danger. Regardless, I attempted to halt the bloodshed.
Are you sure both men were able to hear your voice?
They were, of course. In my high An exquisite voice echoed through the park. And the victim responded to the clarion call. Quite.
Did you hear the gunshot at the same time as the victim turned?
Indeed, I would say about the same time to be precise.
And the victim didn't ask for your help?
It can't be said that he didn't have time to ask. He didn't even have time to take a single step. I'm totally sure that the killer fired because Mr. Stickler startled him.
Don't say that too loud, Trucy, please. Can you describe the killer's actions more clearly?
He seemed to be quite surprised, especially considering that it was he the one who did the deed. As we can see, human psychology is a tangled web indeed. He simply couldn't believe what he had done. He shot and panicked, a common tale, but true. Unfortunately, before I could take further action, beep, beep, beep.
You didn't try to apprehend the criminal?
It happened so fast, I'm afraid I hadn't the time.
Wasn't something about that strike yours odd, Apollo?
What?
The killer was in a hurry, right? He fired the pistol and tossed it right away.
According to the testimony, that's what happened, yes.
In that case, I'd expect to find something that we didn't find.
Find something? Find what?
I like that contradiction. Kind of sad to see it go.
Not as sad as I feel. What do we do now?
At least the testimony's getting a little clearer.
She's right. Maybe I can find something to use in this new testimony. Okay, so...
Yep. The fifth testimony. Didn't the last one. Okay, where's that? The fingerprints were wiped. So if he literally shot and then tossed it, how would he have had time to wipe those fingerprints?
Makes sense to me. Wait a second.
Tisk, another misleading request. Yet you're so beholden to your own mode of discourse, you can't see how it affects you.
Come again?
Wait a second, you say? A second? Are we intended to just wait that a single second? 1/60th of a minute? That's hardly enough time to draw a breath, let alone make a statement in court. Now, had you asked for a longer period of time, say 3 minutes, 35 seconds...
Mr. Justice,
Yes, Your Honor?
I understand you're objecting to the length of a second.
Yes! I mean, no! Here, just look at this pistol. Look at this pistol!
Every time I see it, it makes me... Brah!
It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it.
That's what it looks like he was holding it in that picture.
Who?
Because of Apollo, because it was like superimposed where his hand was pointing. So like if he like squint really hard, he could have been like holding it down.
Look at this pistol, holds it out, pointing at them.
Holds it out. Brah, brah.
Look at it!
Okay, we see it.
Now, can you look at this pistol right now and say my client is guilty?
I guess not. Is that what do you want us to say?
I rest my case.
And then everybody's like, "Ooh, he's good."
Wow, never thought of intimidation.
Common ploy, made all the more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television.
Prevalence. Is that the same word?
What?
Prevalence and prevalence? I think it
What's
is.
prevalence?
I've heard it being said prevalence before.
I've never heard prevalence. Are you sure
I've
they
heard
just
it
didn't
being
say
said.
it wrong?
Maybe, but I thought I heard it on television.
I've heard words said wrong on television. I mean,
Yeah, you're not wrong, but I've heard prevalence and prevalence.
I don't think I've ever heard prevalence, but
Yeah, well, it's not like, find infinite and then finite, you know. I told you that story, didn't I?
it's finite and infinite.
It's finite and infinite. I like Infinite is my favorite Pokemon.
My favorite Marvel movie is Infinity Wars.
Infinity. Infinity. Infinity is my favorite Greek goddess. Do you remember from the Hercules TV show?
I didn't
Infinity.
watch the Hercules TV show.
Oh, it's so good. So good. Aphrodite had like a little theme song whenever she was summoned.
Fun.
Either way. uh Aphrodite. Is it pronounced Aphrodite or
What?
Aphrodite?
Aphrodite.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't it be Aphrodite? Because it's like, like all the other Greek names.
No.
like Aristotle pronounced like Chipotle, Aristotle.
I mean, maybe that one.
I think it's supposed to be Aphrodite. Either way, criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints.
Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran.
That's right. He didn't have time to wipe the gun for prints. Ah! That little girl sticking it to the university student. There's a song in there. I'm not little. Then let's think like adults, shall we, Fräulein? Huh? What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves? Gotta admit, I didn't think of that one about. She's quick. She's quick to just be like, "Oh, you got me there." I like that.
Well, Mr. Justice, could the killer have been wearing gloves?
No way.
No way. Do you have evidence?
No way. Yeah.
Oh, because the knife. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's saying that the killer was him, though.
No, it's saying he was there with a knife, but like he wasn't there with a gun.
The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were wiped, which means some trace of prints remained. No, fingerprints remained.
I found prints.
Which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you did say it did, he would have had time to wipe the pistol.
That may be, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant. He threw down the murderer's weapon from his hand and fled. And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of.
Wait, is he really so dumb that he doesn't know what the weapon they dropped was? Because I'm assuming it was the knife. And he's just like saying, oh, well, this gun was found at the scene and he dropped his weapon, so his weapon must have been this gun.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
This guy's eyesight sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, probably. That sounds solid to me. Well, forehead, any of your precious objections? What gives, Apollo? Let's see your voice training go to work.
You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say.
What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witches just said?
Huh? Isn't what obvious? I forgot why we're here. What's going on? I disassociated for a moment.
The 15-year-old is a better defense attorney than the defense attorney.
Listen, I feel like I could focus on a task a lot better at 15 than I can at whatever age I currently am.
Good job not doxing yourself.
When he restated what he saw just now, he said that he saw Locky drop a murderer's weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure of what Locky threw away.
You're right.
He's just confused because a pistol was found at the scene. Poor Mr. Stickler. It must have been so hard to be so perfect, yet so wrong. Well, it can be said that I'm quite offended. While it is indeed that true, once in my youth I wrote a love letter to my own blood that was seized by a teacher and posted on the blackboard wall this year. For this, the appellation of poor might be well prefixed on my name. Yeah, for the issue at hand.
You wrote a love letter in your own blood? The heck is wrong with you?
I think that's what he said, isn't it?
No, I think it is. Yeah, love letter in my own blood. I'd say, what the heck was wrong with him?
Yeah, it's like hard to catch the very last word because it like immediately skips once it gets to it.
No, it definitely had said that.
What can we
I
say?
love how everybody's glossing over it too. They're just not gonna acknowledge it.
I mean, I wouldn't. I'd be like, can we just like not have this witness anymore? This guy's problematic.
Yeah, especially in like if you're writing like kanji, katakana, and hiragana, like it's like you have to like.
That's a lot of blood.
Well, yeah, and you have to like bleed into a bowl so you can like dip your like brush into it. Because like you can't write, you know what I mean? It's not like a pen where you can like, just dip. Into,
Can't
like,
you just
anything.
dip the brush into like your wound?
You have to like just carve a nice deep hole so then you can like stick it in and swoosh it around.
Let's just move on. Well, I'm getting a little nauseous at that. So
No, that's fair. That's
Well-
fair. I have a very low threshold for like physical trauma triggers.
What we can't say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defense have anything to say about this?
Well, what if what he threw away wasn't a pistol?
then it had to be something else.
Yeah.
At least one person on defense team seems to be thinking.
And it's not
Grr.
a defense attorney.
I'll wipe that smile off your pretty face, Gavin.
Ooh, we stand a bicon.
Listen, he complimented me earlier. I won't forget that.
Yeah, I mean, as far as we know, there's nothing in this game that has established his attraction to women at all yet. So he might not be bi. He might just be full-on gay.
I feel like Gavin's probably full-on gay, but I guess there's nothing to prove either way.
I feel like Gavin is probably pan, to be honest.
He's attracted to pans. Sorry, that's a dumb joke.
He's attracted to pans.
I don't know. I feel like it's hard to tell because is he gay or European?
They're culturally diverse.
It's not a fashion curse. Okay.
Perhaps you can inform the court to the nature.
Wears a kilt or dons a skirt.
Bears a purse.
Whatever.
Perhaps you can inform the court of the nature of this something else. What did the killer throw away before fleeing the scene?
Obviously, Trucy's panties.
Obviously. Trucy's panties. The shiv.
You mean the knife?
The knife.
It's not a shiv unless it was used as a weapon, and we don't know that yet. Wait, does it count as a weapon if it's intended use? Like if he donned it, it with the intention of using it as a weapon, but didn't use it, is it a weapon?
I think it's an attempted weapon.
So it's an attempted shiv?
I think so, right? Because it's like attempted murder is when you try to kill somebody but fail, right? It's not like, oh, a goofy accident. It's like, no, you still attempted, right? So like I would say it's like attempted weapon.
I mean, I'm of the opinion that attempted murder should have the same punishment as murder.
Yeah.
Whether you did it, like, you shouldn't get off lucky because you failed.
Yeah, no, for sure, right? Like that's just like giving you a benefit for like you're rewarding your like ineptitude.
Yeah, but it's not much of a deterrent. Like, you're like, oh, well, I mean, I can keep trying until I get it right because the punishment's less. Like,
Yeah.
Is that a sword? I saw one of those in a late night movie last night.
great, a sleep-deprived judge.
Iconic.
This knife was found at the scene of the crime with the defendant's prints on it.
His prints? Like fingerprints?
Listen, I already tried to do that. He got mad at me last time.
The single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves. And three, that this person's either dumb or blind.
Indeed.
Or Gavin's either gay or European. We haven't established.
That he might be gay and European.
Yep. Oh, Applehead. You're forgetting two other things you've just proven.
Huh?
I could also be polysexual.
You're attracted to polygons?
I mean,
Me
look at
too.
that necklace he's wearing. I mean, that's definitely a polygon. One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Walkie-Talkie. Two, that the defendant was holding a knife with the intent of harming the victim.
Oh.
Indeed.
Good. Never underestimate a Gavin is a lesson here.
The court is of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it would behoove us to hear about what really occurred. With less assuming, please.
It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on foot 5 minutes later and his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark never had to stop for a traffic light. Assuming, yes, that's what I said, assuming. As if that were a probable situation at all. Yeah, here you are, assuming that my assumption is no better.
I love that he has like a Valley Girl accent.
Yeah, well, the more feminine he gets, the more Valley Girl comes out.
Ahem. What this court assumes is that the witness will testify
As to what happened after the shot was fired. Someday I'll watch that movie not in musical form. Because I've only watched the musical.
You have not seen the actual movie.
No, but I've seen the musical numerous times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The musical's fantastic.
Like, I have almost every song in the musical memorized, but I've never seen the movie.
It's so good. It's just like that couple in the Titanic.
Who's the movie? Reese Witherspoon? Is it?
It's so good. Yeah, Reese Witherspoon is the original Elle Woods, yeah.
Yeah.
She was not the original Elle Woods on the production. In the
Duh.
musical.
Yeah.
I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene. Nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
Why didn't you chase the killer? That's the dumbest thing I could have said, but okay.
He was, as you say, a killer. Of course I could have run him down, yet what would that have done when cornered? What would he have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than aptitude for solving quadratic equations to know that. The testimony earlier not prove the defendant's presence at the scene. And do we not also know that there was no else there? It seems clear that we have our killer. Does it not?
Does it not, Mr. Justice?
I'd better find a way to take this testimony down quick. From shot to call. Which way did the killer run?
By that time, it was clear the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction.
That'd mean he ran in the opposite direction. From the Kataki mansion. Forgot how to say it?
What?
I said, did you forget how to say it?
Yeah, I did. I had to like think about it. Achtung! Danger! Look out!
Acton, Will Robinson.
Achtung! Don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was look back once he was out of sight.
Ugh, how did he know that's where I was going?
Trucy was mad.
Trucy will remember this.
Yeah.
You were certainly composed for someone who had just witnessed a killing.
If one is to devote one's life to the pursuit of knowledge,
Science.
one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood. Nor be so moved by a chemical discovery that one's drops one's flask upon the lab room's floor. Ooh, cool answer. Very cool.
I thought I was cool. There's nothing strange about how he acted. Trucy looks like she has something to say.
Trucy, why are you so mad?
She's just like, wow, Apollo's so dumb right now. I'm gonna give him the silent treatment and not tell him what he's missing. Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance?
It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no need for me to call an ambulance.
What? I mean, you call an ambulance anyways.
Yeah. Well, you call 911, and then 911 dispatches all the correct things.
I mean, I don't know how it works in Japan. I said that slowly because I'm like, this is not Japan, but it is Japan. But like, still, even if you didn't, you still should always call an ambulance. Somebody was shot.
Yeah.
Oh, a perfect syllogism. A proof in 3 parts. Exquisite. Simply exquisite.
Plus, I mean, in almost all situations, probably you're dead if you're shot in the head. But there's definitely been cases in history somebody survived a shot to the head. Especially depending on how direct it was. And he clearly didn't see the shot well. So, like, you call just in case. Like, otherwise you're guaranteeing their death.
Yeah. You're, like, practically complicit in their death.
Yeah. He actually looks like he's going to cry. I hope he does. I think you're going to be murdered soon. I don't know why.
She's so mad.
Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes?
Trucy over here just stewing. She's just like,
It's like, damn it, today's my birthday and Apollo hasn't said anything. He just remembered.
She just remembered that it's her birthday today.
Yeah, and she's upset nobody else just remembered.
I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could happen at any moment. Anyone could appear from any direction.
Is that all?
No one came. Nothing happened at all. I saw it all, which is to say, I saw nothing.
It was late at night. It's not odd to think there would be few people around in the park.
So we just stood there watching? Not much to go on there. Trucy, if you got something to say, by all means say it. Oh, you can't find a single problem with that testimony. This entire cross-examination, she hasn't said a word.
She's so mad.
Has enough at last, forehead?
Maybe it's time to back off a bit. Should we back off?
Yes, I guess. I don't know.
Yes?
I feel like it's just gonna loop us back into trying to do it again with nothing. Like, we didn't get an in at all.
Okay. Yes, back off. Nick!
Right.
There's nothing fishy about this testimony at all.
Appears there are no objections to the witness's current testimony.
There are any number of ways to explain the lack of print of the pistol, I assure you.
Perhaps the killer really was wearing gloves which wiped the previous owner's prints. Then, after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket as he was throwing the gun away. A mistake befitting a small-time punk, in my opinion.
No! No!
Seems we've come to the end of the line here.
No! That can't be all!
How unfortunate. It seems that you were cut to stand on the same stage as me. Were you, F-forehead?
I believe this brings the cross-examination to a close. This court will now declare a verdict for the defendant Waki Kitaki.
As soon as you?
Eek. Oh, eek!
Trucy, was that why you were so mad? This is... Nobody move!
Well, what's the meaning of this? Who are you?
There'll be no verdict this court, not yet! Wait, are you one of the Kitakis?
The Kitakis? You mean the notorious gangsters? I thought that was completely unrelated to Waki Kitaki.
Waki Kitakis from the Virginia Kitakis. They're just like a family of well-known corn farmers.
Is it Kitaki's just the Smith of Japan-California? It's just a common last name. They're like,
Yeah.
if you don't want to see me get the pretty little girl a new smile, do as I say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes.
What?
What?
Adjourned the court for 20 minutes. Exactly. That's such an oddly specific amount of time. Person who's like holding a person hostage in an armed, like, government protected building. Like, how many guns are directly pointed at this dude right now?
I mean, to be fair, they're probably like, I mean, should we really shoot? This is not that, like, serious of a demand. Like,
Yeah, 20 minutes? Like, you could have just requested that politely. Like, I'm sure, like, we probably could have done that.
probably not, but
This court will not bow to pressure from the likes of...
Justice.
that's
Judge. I see little point in further aggravating this gentleman.
recess, 20 minutes, or I promise you'll regret it. But wait, how did he disappear so fast? It's like he just faded and, like, he didn't even move.
It's like his two-dimensional sprite just popped out of existence.
Come to the defender lobby! Apollo!
Never mind, I remember who this was. You should have voiced. Oh well.
I think it's Phoenix, isn't it?
I suppose I have no...
You think Phoenix held his daughter at knife?
Yeah, to make and then she did the stage trick to make them disappear.
I suppose I have no choice but to adjourn for a 20-minute recess. Bailiff, catch that mysterious man.
Yeah. June 16th. Again. Trucy? Trucy!
The two officers just sitting there, just not even, they don't even care.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Or is this Emma? Who is it?
I think this is Trucy.
Oh, you move quick, Apollo. Good show. Good show.
Trucy, you're okay. I thought.
Don't cry, Apollo.
I've only known you for a day. But if anything happens to you, I'll kill that bailiff over there in particular, just him.
The bailiff is like, yo, what?
No, I know, it's the bailiff with low self-esteem. It's like, that's fair.
Yeah.
Those good-for-nothing gangsters. There's some things you just don't do. And that's kidnap my magician assistant. Anything else you could do? I'm pressing charges.
Wait, just calm down, Apollo. Or else...
Ah! What the heck is that?
Oh, she was doing ventriloquism?
Yeah, that was her. That's why I was like, oh, this is you. Okay.
She did it herself to herself. Oh, that's funny. Surprised? It's one of my best tricks, the amazing Mr. Hat.
I guess I could still voice it.
Yeah.
You look marvelous, darling.
Oh, that's a good voice for him. He's a big hit on stage at the Wunderbar.
Yes, a big hit. Ha ha ha.
Well, what do you think? Do you like it?
You mean you... Trucy, there's some things you just don't do. And that's specifically pull out a ventriloquist dummy to make my magician assistant look kidnapped.
To request a 20-minute recess in a court case that has nothing to do with you.
I'm pressing charges.
Apollo! Now is not the time to be threatening me. It's you who's being threatened here.
Huh? How?
Remember what you said to Walkie's father yesterday? You promised you'd save his son.
I mean, I actually didn't promise anything. He just kind of threatened me and left. But that testimony is rock solid. What are you suggesting I do?
Look, once the judge declares a verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talent to stop that from happening, I will.
Trucy, no more staged abductions, please.
I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness isn't confident, I can perceive what he's feeling.
That sounds pretty unrealistic in a game with spirit mediums and magic bracelets.
It might not mean anything, but it's all we've got.
You can see what he's feeling? What does that look like?
Think back, Apollo. Think back to the times when there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times.
All the times there was a contradiction?
I remember.
Wait, I think I remember them, sure. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Well, there were 2 times when he made statements he wasn't confident in. Each time there was a contradiction. In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. He said the man tossed aside a pistol. But it turned out he wasn't sure, and sure enough, there was a contradiction.
Well, that's true, but how does it help us?
Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement he wasn't confident in, he displayed a certain habit. In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. The man was pulling the stand. Do you see it? The very moment he said the word pistol, his finger got all tense and he fiddled with the corner of the page in his book.
How am I supposed to see that? Like, by my angle, I can't see that part of his book.
Yeah. Well, I could see it. How else do you think Daddy went 7 years without losing a game of poker?
Wait, so you cheated? What?
I always sat next to Daddy during the big matches. I could see what his opponents were feeling.
You mean that's how Mr. Wright won all those games?
It's not cheating officially. I wasn't looking at their hands or anything. And I wasn't there all the time either. Daddy's quite good at poker after all, but not good enough to go undefeated that long.
Great, so he cheated. What does that do for us? Oh wait, are you saying we should cheat? Good idea. I don't believe this.
You have to listen to his testimony one more time, so no, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony, perceive the truth.
Watch, testimony, perceive the truth? The only thing I'm perceiving is that I'm going to lose.
Not true.
Hmm.
Daddy said so. He said you have the power, Apollo.
Mr. Wright said that? Watch the testimony, perceive his true feelings. Is she serious?
Time's up. Sorry, I can't think of any other ways out of this one, Apollo.
What was that she said before the trial started? Huh? Mr. Wright's not here today?
He said his old foot injury was acting up. Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine as long as you're here, Trucy.
Is this what he meant by us being fine? Well, methods aside, she did avoid one guilty verdict already today. Time to show this court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice! Let's do it.
Apollo.
You know, I'm starting to think I can do this.
I knew you could do it all along. Oh, one more thing. Try to cover for Mr. Hat as best you can.
I just flew in from the coast, and boy, are my arms tired.
Right.
I don't remember Mr. Hat at all. Did we get
Oh.
this far in the original?
Yeah, we did. We at least got to day 2. Only once, though, so...
Court is now back in session.
Right, we're fine.
Ahem. I'd like to say to the young lady standing next to you, Mr. Justice,
Oh, you mean me?
do you have anything to report? Anything concerning the mysterious phantom in the silk top hat?
All right, him. Don't worry about him. I settled that.
You settled that?
Yeah, I challenged him to a race and then I won because I'm Apollo the Hedgehog. I mean, yes, it was an out-of-court settlement, right? What? You can't out-of-court settle a kidnapping. There was a crime that happened.
His little his forehead horn, his hair, just like boinged when he said that.
Yeah.
It's very cute. Perhaps Fräulein would have us believe it was nothing more than a passing dream. A fantastic illusion. Now you see it, now you don't. Am I right? I think he's on to me.
I wish he would stop being so cool.
Let us dispense with his niceties and get straight to the matter. What are your plans for a gifted witness?
Right. The defense would like to request another cross-examination. Because I forgot to ask something.
There was no issue with the witness's previous testimony. I'll grant your request, however, but this court will not permit stalling for time.
Understood, Your Honor.
Don't forget, Apollo. When he's unsure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book.
Well, now that you said it out loud with an earshot.
Is this the same or is this?
I don't remember.
I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene. Nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience.
I'm seeing if it's the same. It's technically the same, yeah. But
Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
I'm not sure I'm qualified to watch testimonies after all.
Focus, Apollo. Find his weak spot.
Focus? If only it were that easy. My ears hear what he says. My eyes see its expression. Do I have to do something more? What other senses do I have? Can I smell him? Can I taste him? Can I feel him? What? What's this? My bracelet.
Oh, my bracelet.
What's going on? My bracelet feels different somehow.
I think Daddy was right. You can see it, can't you, Apollo? You're almost there. Find the weak spot in his testimony.
I know this sounds crazy. My bracelet is trying to tell me something. You know, that'd be a good D&D magic item. I'd
Bracelet that gives you advantage on perception checks or whatever.
I was thinking straight up it can tell you when people are lying, but that could work too. I guess it would give you advantage in perception checks, and also like when somebody's lying, you would be. I feel it because it kind of does both. It doesn't necessarily let him figure out the truth. What are we doing?
It's that one.
This one?
Right. Whatever he fidgets with the book, right? So at this point, we're just looking at what he's saying. We're not even like.
So press.
So, yeah, press it, and then he's probably gonna be like, "Oh, my bracelet!"
So he called immediately.
Like, your bracelet. Yeah.
So he called immediately after witnessing the murder.
The police undoubtedly would have regular the call. Why not check with them? Wait, Apollo. This has to be it.
Wait, you mean his habit?
Why are we getting a refresher? You've said this 7 times already. Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book.
That flashback was unnecessary. That was from less than a minute ago. The only time he ever had the book open was here, which means this is the place to look for this habit. I don't know how I know, but I know.
Know what?
I know what I know. It's my bracelet. It's different somehow. I can feel it reacting to something about the witness.
Your bracelet? She's looking at the icon.
What are you looking at?
Oh, don't worry about it.
I'm not sure I get this focus stuff you're talking about, Tracy.
Tracy?
But Tracy Pokemon?
Tracy Pokemon?
But I have a feeling that trusting that bracelet is the way to go.
Jessica Pokemon?
Okay, I just need to touch my bracelet with Y as it reacts to the testimony.
Whoa!
Well, what's going on? The bracelet's in my eye. Get it out! Get it out!
Get it out! Get it out! Get it out! Ah!
I can see the witness's face, his expression so clearly. It's filling my mind. I can see nothing else, hear nothing else. Oh god, this is horrifying.
Eldritch. Yeah, this is terrifying.
Just suddenly all you could see and hear is like intensely focused on a person. This is a nightmare.
Yeah, no. Apollo?
I can't hear you. Are you talking to me? All I hear is weird music. Drucy, what's happening to me? He's like foaming at the mouth on the witness stand.
He's like seizing. This is what I mean by focusing.
Focusing. The entire courtroom's like freaking out right now. They're like trying to call the medical team.
Truth is like shaking him. In this take, you can see everything, Apollo. Everything. Oh, it just does.
that's great, but this is kind of freaking me out. I don't even know what I'm saying. It's just, sure, that's great.
Just look for Mr. Stickler's Twitch. His habit. You remember it, right?
Sure. That sounds like an answer I should say to something you said. When he says something he's not sure of, he fiddles with a page of his book.
Also, remember his Twitch. Go subscribe to him. You got it. Right now you're looking at the witness's face. And your eyes are sort of bucking out.
I'll bet something is. I don't know what you said.
Whoa. Is my fake screaming bad? I'll stop.
No, it's fine. It's fine either way.
I wasn't sure if it was like
No,
not coming in good.
it's fine.
Yeah. First, move your focus of attention down to Mr. Stickler's hand.
I feel like I should move my focus down to his hand.
You know what to look for now, but you have to be looking at the right place.
Why do I have the strong urge to look at people's hands? His big hands.
Confirmed.
She's right. I can only see his face like this.
Apollo is so gay.
Time to try changing my viewpoint.
Whoa. Whoa. Perfect. Now you're really ready.
I'm really feeling it, Miss Trucy. Ready for what?
Ready to perceive the truth behind the Twitch.
That they only do 50-50 splits for... Sorry.
No, too political.
Perceive.
Try listening to the witness talk as you focus. Then watch for his habit.
Right, you mean when he fiddles with the page. I'm just going to pretend that I can hear you now.
That's right. That's your signal to look closer, to perceive with why. Find his weak point, and I guarantee we'll be able to give him the royal flush.
I mean, I'd rather give Gavin the royal flush, but...
I bet.
Spoken like a true pokerhead's daughter.
I'm a magician. Thank you very much.
You have to pay attention to his words and his fingers. So that's just a line!
I'm gonna seize up. I can't. Ever since that day, I can't think of fingers without thinking of you anymore. It's terrible. I've been ruined.
I'm thinking of me.
Yeah, your old lady finger moans, remember?
I always forget that. You're the only one that remembers that.
I told you, I'm never gonna forget it. Like, literally every time I am made to conceptualize fingers as a thing that exists in this universe.
You're gonna think of the Elden Ring's finger readers.
Yeah. Literally every time. Like, that was so, like, it threw me like into a completely different universe when you were like unprompted, like, moan about fingers. Yeah, like, it doesn't feel real. Like, that doesn't feel like it belongs in a game. And
fingers.
I'm like,
let me see your fingers.
Literally.
Just okay.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Don't worry if you miss it. You can always try again.
Right. Look out, nervous Twitch. Here comes justice.
Is that it there?
Gotcha. That's all I could perceive in both my hearing and sight was your fingers rustling this page. I saw it. Just now, I could see it.
Mr. Justice, do you have something to say? You were just completely seizing. The medical team's rushing over. We were ready to suspend the trial, to be honest.
Yeah, just blood coming out of his nose, coming out of his ears,
like
coming out of the corner of his mouth.
We called the government. We thought there was some unknown pathogen or something loose.
Yeah, the guy who kidnapped Trucy released a virus into the courtroom.
We were suspecting biological warfare, to be honest.
You're bleeding out of your eyes.
All this banging on desks, it's quite bad for my circulation, you know.
Mr. Stickler, allow me to ask you a simple question. Why did you fiddle with the page of your book just now?
I don't know. I have ADHD and I hyperfixate on things. What does that have to do with anything?
I have something else I'd rather you fiddle with.
Apollo!
The very moment you mentioned your cell phone.
What are you talking about?
I'm curious now about the cell phone of yours. Can I see it? Mind if I ask a few questions? What to ask? What to ask? Ask for his number.
As for his number, save and do it. Save and do it. Save
I mean,
and do it.
we can't not, right?
And not. Yeah. We're developing.
Mr. Stickler, tell me your phone number.
Ooh la la.
Why? Whatever for?
Why not? You have something against making friends?
What does this witness's cell phone number have to do with the case?
Well, nothing. I just wanted it, to be honest. I was going to call him later.
Absolutely nothing.
Just ask him what he's doing, what he's wearing.
This is an invasion of my privacy.
Seeing you grimace like that makes me wonder about your cell phone, too. Can I have your number? Witness will present his cell phone number to the court.
Bye,
Is this legal? Trucy, do you have your cell phone?
Sure do.
Try dialing the number that he gives us.
Oh, okay. You want me to call Mr. Stickler's phone? What's playing?
That's one of Gavin's songs.
This is all highly irregular.
Hey, my pocket's ringing. Wait, this is a phone from yesterday.
Oh, I think we picked the right thing.
Oh,
Look, a cell phone.
what were the options?
Dude.
For his phone number,
It doesn't show the three.
it was to ask for his phone number, to ask for his phone, and then to maybe they all like circled back to it in some way. You know, like if he asked for his phone, he's like, "Well, I can't give you my phone because I don't have it."
Okay, it says, because I keep something open just in case we get super stuck. It says, ask for his number or ask to see his phone. So those two were both right.
Oh, then as a Shutokumi's successor knew what we were thinking.
I still don't think you can legally do that. Like in a court of law, ask a witness to publicly reveal their cell phone number.
Yeah, there's no need.
That seems like an invasion of privacy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless it's like specifically relevant to the case, and even then, you wouldn't do it in public. Yeah, because then anybody who's at the court would have access to a personal phone number.
Yeah.
Someone dropped it beneath this tire. If the car moved, it would be crushed for sure.
Let's move it. I wonder if it belongs to the doctor here. How strange, Mr. Stickler. Can you explain why your cell phone is sitting here in my assistant's hand?
Wait a minute, what is the meaning of this? Your assistant stole his cell phone? She's going to jail.
It's going to jail lifetime.
That's worse than murder here. I mean, murder happens a lot here, so...
The cell phone was found yesterday in the Maractus Clinic garage.
Maractus? Why, that's where the victim lived.
I'm looking for the right moment to stop. Actually, wait.
That's impossible.
We'll stop in a minute. Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court, didn't you? If your cell phone is here, how could you have called the police?
Yuck. It's true. I didn't have my cell phone that night. That's why it can be said that I called the police from my public payphone.
A payphone, so you didn't call on your cell phone after all.
Where was this payphone located, Mr. Stickler?
Well, to indicate it with a startling high degree of accuracy, it was right around here.
That's quite a ways from the park. But why did you lie?
There can only be one reason. He didn't want the court to know he had lost his cell phone. Because it was found in the victim's garage.
Well, but what are you saying?
Mr. Stickler, you broke into the Maractus Clinic garage on the night of the murder. This cell phone tells all.
But that's ridiculous. That makes it sound like I snuck into this fellow garage to commit some crime. I saw you were trying to kill him.
Well, you said it, not me.
Well, Dr. Maractus was killed that night.
Well, yes, but no, this line of reasoning has to be against the rules. Yes, it's true I lost my cell phone. But you can't prove that I lost it that night.
Well, Mr. Justice, if that cell phone was dropped the night of the murder, it does raise considerable suspicion as to connection with the crime.
Now's your chance, Apollo. Connect Mr. Stickler to the crime.
Well, he's already connected enough. I just have to prove it. Well, do I have a piece of evidence that can do the job? Can I prove that cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder?
What do we have?
This stuff. I mean, I already accidentally saw the answer because I was trying to look to see where we could stop, which is like right after this. But
Okay, let me slow down so I can read the descriptions. Okay, next. Next. Wait, go back to the mirror or to the phone, I guess? Is there anything about the phone?
like, examine it.
Just looking at it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what? Oh, the fact that the mirror was broken, so that card couldn't have been out because the mirror was broken? Is that the argument?
The mirror was broken that night.
Yeah, so like if he had lost it any time other than that night, driving away in that car would have broken the mirror, the phone.
Yeah.
So I guess yeah, it's a mirror.
Of course I have evidence.
Ooh, I like your swagger, forehead. Hit it.
I'm gonna hit something.
The court will see this evidence, Mr. Justice. Hit it, as they say.
Actually, I don't want to hit anything anymore. The evidence that proves the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder is... Tercy's panties!
That's the side view mirror?
As it so happens, Dr. Maractus' car was in an accident that took place the night of the murder.
An accident?
An accident.
An accident?
An accident. Happened a little after 9 p.m. just outside People Park, our murder scene. Dr. Maractus' car hit a pedestrian. He's dead.
What are you trying to say?
From the absence of a mirror, it's clear that the car was parked after the accident, which means it was parked there after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder. If your cell phone had been dropped before the car was parked in that garage, then it would have been crushed. After all, it was lying on the ground right under the wheel. Trust me. Ergo, Mr. Stickler, the only time you could have dropped this in the garage was after 9 p.m. the night of the murder in the park. Mr. Stickler, you know what that means. You did break into the victim's garage that night.
This is most unexpected, Mr. Justice. Are you naming the witness as a suspect in the murder of Pal Maractus?
No, stop. It's too much. This can't be happening.
Prosecutor, say something. I suppose it was saying this. No connection has been found between Wesley Stickler and Paul Maractus. That is, other than this.
I believe our next testimony will be most revelatory? How'd you say that?
Revelatory?
Revelatory?
Revelatory. Is a witness prepared?
Yes, Your Honor.
I know that face. That's the face of guilt. Oh crap! She's not talking again. Okay, this is perfect right here.